Dave here with the Limitless Brave Show. Thank you guys for all of your support and positive feedback this year as I've gotten the show off the ground. We just hit 100 subscribers, and while that might not mean much to you, it does to me. There's a lot of podcasting competition out there, and there's a lot of just general distraction online. So to hit that 100 subscriber milestone meant a lot to me. And I'm shooting for 500 next, but I can only get there with your help. So if you have a friend that might like the show, get them to subscribe. And of course, comment and like. The podcast you're getting ready to listen to was filmed prior to the 2024 election. You're going to hear some dated material, but the podcast is going to be entertaining, controversial, and triggering. Enjoy Emily Saves America. Today's guest, you may have seen her on Newsmax, Fox, Jesse Waters, Gutfeld, InfoWars with Owen Schroyer. Owen Schroyer, yep. And then you're starting to dabble in a political career.
Yeah.
And you've also been helping local community. Welcome, Emily Saves America. It's been a minute trying to put this together.
I know. I'm busy, but for really stupid reasons, because I have no control over my life whatsoever. And I didn't ask to be I'm a really unorganized person, so trying to do all this on my own is very, very difficult, to say the least.
Yes, we were both just talking about that, how difficult it is to be a one-man band.
Yeah. And I have girl brain, so it doesn't function half the time, unfortunately.
Oh, too funny. So, where did you grow up?
I was born in Orange County.
Okay.
Everyone's like, oh, it makes sense now. Calm down. I grew up in Seal Beach, which is bordering Long Beach.
Yep.
And then I finished.
A little town.
Yeah, it's like a mile-long retirement community.
Yeah, super cool.
Not much there as a kid,
Nope.
unfortunately. But I mean, it's safe, which is great.
Yep.
And then finished my last day of high school. They were like, I was actually not supposed to graduate because I didn't have enough credits, but I think they were they just thought I was horrid, so they just wanted to get rid of me. So they had me do files the last day being there, which legally seems really crazy. So I just fucked up all those files, and then my mom picked me up, because I think they legally were we need to see you leave with an adult. Yeah, and then I just started modeling in San Francisco, and then I moved in all my shit with my brother in LA. He was a big nightclub DJ.
Okay.
And then just kind of.
What kind of modeling were you doing?
It was online, so it was online, you don't have to be tall.
Yeah.
You just have to be skinny.
Yeah.
And I had pink hair. So, because I was super liberal my entire life until the pandemic. Was never involved in politics or anything. But
okay.
Yeah, I kind of went into nightclub partying for God knows how long. Ended up in real estate before the pandemic, and then lost my job. And then that's when I kind of, red pilled myself. So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of different terminologies over here.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sounds like a pretty normal kind of life. I mean,
yeah.
Hanging out, having fun.
I mean, I would say it's normal for LA standards. It's what you do. If you're a young girl, whatever, you get into modeling, you go to promoter dinners, and you do everything. That's what I'm saying. I think people assume I grew up in some conservative political family that's, in a red state somewhere on a farm, and it could not be more different than that. That's why I'm I think my opinions are valid, because I actually lived through all these things instead of just judging people.
Yeah, you've seen both sides.
Yeah, I've seen both sides, and now I understand which side you have a significantly better outcome, especially as a woman. So.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
People won't agree with that. That's fine.
Yeah, some will, some won't.
Yeah.
But so when did you start Emily Saves America?
So it's really funny. I used to listen to, literally, I used to live with an ex-boyfriend. I worked in real estate, and I remember every morning I would listen to podcasts, but I was listening to Pod Save America, which is obviously left. John Oliver, left, a bunch of left people. And it's funny because I liked that pod at the time. And then when I got super red pilled, I wanted to change my name. And so I kind of making fun of Pod Save America, did Emily Saves America. And that's literally how that started. And it was supposed to be a joke. I had no followers because when I started posting in politics, I lost all my followers. So I think when I met my boyfriend now, I had like 18,000 followers.
Okay.
Which was like only like maybe 2 years ago, 2.5 years. But that's where that name came from. So
Okay. That's funny.
came from a left-leaning podcast, ironically.
Okay. Hey, that's
Good. Whatever.
Creative. So I want to kind of, before we get into where you are now, I want to talk about what your life was like before you moved into the direction that you've moved now. So you said you grew up in a very liberal household. So
It wasn't even like liberal, it was normal.
normal. Okay.
Like it was like, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion. You were just a kid. Like you go to the beach, you go swimming, you hang out with your friends, you eat some bean burritos, and like that's it. You know what I mean? Like my whole life was just normal. We never ever talked about either of those things. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so it's weird now. It's like all people want to talk about, but I think that's good. I don't think it's good to talk about either of those things, especially during childhood too much. I think because you're so easily influenced. I'm glad it wasn't talked about at all, frankly. And that doesn't mean that I don't think you can talk about those things and have kids that grow up really, really successful and they grow up well, adjusted and all that. I just think for most children, it's just too much.
It is, I think. Yeah, politics is a complicated thing.
Yeah.
And you need time to do your research, right? But that's interesting that you say you come from a liberal family growing up in Orange County, which is notoriously a Republican county.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, it's like no one, I mean, everyone in my family is right-leaning or just non-political. I'd say my mom leans a bit more left, which is like not shocking. She's female. I think most females lean left. But it's just like, it just wasn't talked about. We just weren't a political family. No families were political. You know what I mean? Yeah. We never talked about any of that. I think we're a family that like obviously loved America, and we're super excited and stoked to like grow up living on the beach, which is freaking awesome, and really happy and grateful. Yeah. So none of those things were just really ever brought up.
Okay. Well, that's good. That sounds like a pretty normal house.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was normal, thank God.
I grew up with some friends whose families were heavily political.
Yeah.
On either side. I didn't know much because I was a kid, right?
Yeah, you weren't like digging into it.
I wasn't digging into it, so.
I would say like, it kind of sucks because when I did a debate on Jubilee, the YouTube show, and it was former liberals turned conservative versus conservative turned liberal, and it sucks. Because everyone on the liberal side, the one thing they had in common was like they grew up with like crazy Christian families. And that's the thing. That's why I'm like, as much as I think it's great to have some sort of like spirituality or religion, I think it can be really good for kids. I do see when you are like far right Christian and you push that on your children, they naturally just rebel and they become these crazy far left liberals. So it's like almost kind of the worst thing you can do sometimes as a parent. And also they all seem like they just experience like severe trauma. Like their parents were like, you know, I'm sure like if you have sex, you're a whore, don't get tattoos. If you're gay, you're fucking burning in hell forever. Cause that's the stories they were sharing. And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. That does not represent all conservatives and Republicans. And like, you know, I'm like a normal modern Republican, I say. And I just was like, see, that sucks because then by bringing in these things, you almost like make them the opposite.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up around people who were hardcore religious families, and I saw to detriment what it did to those kids.
It's sad.
And a lot of it is exactly what you're saying. There's trauma there. And then even some of the guys that I work with that come in and work with me, that have a heavy religious background, like it's a lot of work to get them kind of to see that it's okay to live a normal life.
Yeah. And I think they see us and it's like people like me, and they have so much hatred towards us because they think like we're going to be like their parents. And like, I would never raise my children like that. That's insane. And I was like, dude, I don't agree with all these things. Like, I love gay people, get married, have fun, be happy, have sex before marriage, whatever. I don't care. I'm like, as long as you're not hurting people, you're not a bad person. But I can tell that with a lot of these far left people, there is so much trauma there. That's why they have so much hatred towards Republicans. It really like, I think it's like, they're like manifesting whatever came out of their messed up households, which I don't agree with at all. I think it's literally insane to like raise your children to live in fear.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, fear is limiting
Yeah.
time. Very, very limiting. Did you ever see that interview with Marilyn Manson when they were asking him about gay marriage? And he says, yeah, everybody has the right to be miserable in a relationship.
Yeah, well, you know what's so funny? Okay, that's so weird. That clip came up on my TikTok the other day, and I was
Really?
like, I used to be in love with Marilyn Manson. I had the biggest crush on him.
It's the oldest. It's so old.
And I don't. And it's funny because I remember think I asked my dad about it a long time ago, and he was like, oh yeah, everyone has the right to have half their shit taken and be miserable. And I was like, oh cool, I think that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I personally don't care. Like,
I don't care.
it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I don't agree with the far right people that are like, it is a sacred thing. And I'm like, it's sacred if you make it sacred.
Yeah.
I know gay people that will get married and be loyal to each other and have a very fantastic life. And I know straight couples that are married, yet they're polyamorous and they have sex with a bunch of other people, and they've completely destroyed whatever was supposed to be sacred there. So I'm like, I'm sorry, let's not act like all straight couples are perfect. There's people cheating, there's people doing God knows what. So let's not act like sanctity is only with one type of person. I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Have you ever dug into or done any research? And I haven't, on like a gay couple raising children and any kind of like detriments that may be there. I don't know.
I haven't, but I do think I've talked to a lot of people. I do think this is with surrogacy and all the way you can basically create a baby from a test tube now, which is really freaky to me. I would say my beliefs are the closest we can stay to nature is always going to be the best outcome. I believe that children need a mother. I think it is a sacred thing. And when I see these videos, first of all, I believe if gay people want to adopt, have a child, whatever, of course they can be great parents. Yep. And it's not like saying like a gay couple can't be great parents, yet some meth head mom is a great parent. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, when I see videos as a woman, them taking children away from their moms and putting it on the chest of a man to almost mock women, I find that I won't go as far as a lot of people on the right. They're like, it is straight up trafficking. But I do think there's something really sad to it that makes me very uncomfortable. I think because that is so far from nature. And I feel like the child is crying because the first thing it wants to do is be on its mother's chest. And I don't know how, because I don't know the statistics on how well that child will do not having a mother, which is what they've needed since the dawn of time. And my thing is like, I want everyone to be happy and have rights and be able to have families. But I also don't want it at the expense of traumatizing a child. And I will say I've seen many stories, and these are not, this is not all gay people, but and by the way, these are the gay people that these stories are about. They are far left, adopting children and molesting them and trafficking them. And unfortunately, I've seen like a lot of those stories. So I think like maybe the fact that need to be more careful about putting these children in direct danger. And I do think like, two gay men adopting a bunch of children should maybe be a red flag. I do think like motherly instincts are very real. Yep. Literally, yep. Between me and my boyfriend with my puppy, I know when my puppy's about to take a shit. I know when she has something in her mouth in the other room, and I will stand up like a psycho in the middle of the night and go do it. And the thing is like, I don't think he has that, but that does not mean that he can't, do a good job. I just will say this is a very new thing. And I really don't know how I feel about it, but I think there's a lot of children that need to be adopted. So I would prefer the adoption route over creating this kind of test tube child, which I will say too, to me is really, really kind of dabbling in eugenics, yeah. Which is insane as well. I just think like, it's like an ego thing. It's like, no, I want my thing. I want it to be a me. And it's like, but there's so many children that need homes. So it's also kind of very like selfish and egotistical to me when there's children that need homes. But like I said, this is all very controversial and I could change my beliefs on it and I might go one way or totally the other way. But of course,
kind of as like research comes out, time passes.
yeah, like if I see research coming out where it's traumatizing, then I don't think I agree with that. But like I said, I also am not a psychopath who wants to like strip rights away when I know gay couples can totally have children and be amazing parents compared to some crackhead, meth head mom. So like, I don't know enough yet. We have to see how these things go. I just want whatever is best for the children at the end of the day. Even if it's two dads, great. I don't care.
Yeah, I would agree with you on, kind of the course of nature, because the feminine is different than the masculine. And to grow, I think in a healthy way, we need to interact with both of that energy, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like women have an intuition that men do not have, and we're never going to have it.
Yeah. No matter how much
and that's
you
fine.
try.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, when we grow that baby inside of us, there's that connection. It was inside of us for 9 months. And when it comes out, we will have that connection, I think, for the rest of our lives until we die.
Yeah, you have been with that child for 9 months before the father has even experienced it. And so, like, that connection that you're talking about, I totally agree with.
Yeah, and I don't want it to think, like, I hate when you say these things and there are, like, a lot of facts behind it, and people are like, so it's not okay, and you hate gays, and you want it. That's not what we're saying. We're literally coming at the perspective, of like, what's best for the child before we take care of adults. You know what I mean? Let's not be selfish. Let's not create traumatized little fragile human beings. And I think it's a really fair middle take I'm giving,
I would agree with that. Dave here with the Limitless Brave Show. And gentlemen, this one's for you. Are you struggling with your dating life or maybe your relationships? Possibly the marriage is on the rocks. Maybe you're having a difficult time making money. What about your health? Is that good or is it in poor repair? And maybe you've tried everything you know how to do to climb that corporate ladder, but you're still not getting anywhere. Or if you're finished with the corporate world, you've been hesitant on starting that new business. Or maybe you just do not feel confident taking on one of the most unique roles we have as men, and that is being the protector. Guys, for the past 15 years as my full-time career, I've been coaching men all over the world on those topics and how to rise above everything that's holding them back to get that amazing dream life. I've been helping men understand the art of living masculine for a very long time, and I would love to help you. I have a very simple, nurturing, zero to hero philosophy when it comes to working with me. It's not anything difficult. It's not anything hard. It's not abusive. It's just common knowledge that I love to share with men to get their minds switched on in the right direction so that they can go out and live an amazing life that every man should. If you want to know more about this, check me out at limitlessbrave.com. Get signed up to my email list, and we'll be in touch. Yeah, it's really hard for a man to adopt female instinct in nurturing, like a woman naturally does, and vice versa.
Yeah.
A woman can't bring, it's really hard to bring the masculine.
Of course, like I can't be a father.
No.
Like I just can't, you know what I mean? And I'm like the emotional one too, but I will say there is a line with everything. And when I see gay men laying in a bed where a pregnant woman was with the baby snatched away from her crying and they're holding it, pretending like they just gave birth to it, that is sick and literally demonic to me, and should like literally, I'm like, no, I already don't like this. All right, so it's mocking to me.
Okay, so are you talking about like a surrogate having the baby and it taken and given to?
Yeah, which are a lot of Republicans are absolutely against it. And they're like, it's literally child trafficking. And to a certain point, I understand what they're saying and agree with them. I just don't like, it's like, to me, I don't like the mockery of women, which I find that to be that. Like, do not lay, like you laying in a bed and pretending to give birth to me is like insane. You know what I mean? Like, once again, I think this is something everyone agrees with, and I'm sure all my gay friends would agree with. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, we're not going to put on a show before we have a child.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be weird. Like even if, my wife and I had a kid, like I know that baby needs to be with her.
Yeah.
I'll have plenty. I'll have plenty.
You're gonna have the rest of your life. You'll be okay. And
Exactly.
It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. I think this is going to be a very big topic soon.
I think so.
Because we're seeing it so often. And like I said, I just want what's best for the kid, all politics and personal opinions aside. Like I would imagine like, you know, it would latch on to the first female it's around. So if you have like a mom coming in, a grandma coming in, a sister coming in, my fear would be that child latches onto that woman because it thinks it's his mom. Yeah. And then every time that person leaves, it's sad and crying.
Going through a
like a
abandonment.
Yeah, which breaks my heart. So like I said, I don't care if anyone thinks it's mean or I'm a bad person for saying it. I'm simply trying to protect the child.
Yep. No, that makes sense. What was I going to ask you next? I forget.
It's crazy too because like these are even weird conversations. I feel like we're like, the fact that things have progressed to this point with science and everything is like a little bit crazy to me.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm fine. A lot of Republicans, I think, like even have said crazy shit. Like they're like against like IVF and all these things. And I'm like, okay, that's crazy because, this is actually a big topic online because I'm like, you're blaming women for all these things that actually I think have been done to us by our government. So it's like you're blaming, you can't use IVF, then you're not supposed to have a child. It's going against God and it's going against nature. Okay, yeah, but what about the fact that we have poison water, we have poison food, we put women on birth control, we give them abortions, we give them Plan Bs, all these things that make you infertile, and then when they need help getting pregnant, we shame them. And I'm like, let's take a little bit of responsibility for the fact that their entire surroundings poison women and make them harder to get pregnant instead of like shaming them, which that doesn't make sense to me either.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I mean, we can get into some of the women's topics because I know you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know you want to talk about it.
They hate me.
And yeah, I'm sure they do.
All women hate me, and I don't give a fuck. I didn't get here with their support, and I'm probably not going to get far with their support. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you said some interesting things about the shaming, right?
Yeah.
I have a friend who does the IVF on a very holistic, natural way, like to the point that they're doing like meditative work and stuff like that. And there's a lot of times there's like trauma involved with that stuff. Yeah. It's like the body can, if there's like trauma there.
That's what I mean. And also it's like, why would we not like help women? Also like women are having babies way later. Like, I'm sorry, we're not having children at 13 anymore. Because I don't think that's good either. No. So it's like women are waiting later, so they're going to need help naturally. I think there's nothing wrong with women waiting and having stable relationships, a home, a car, some money in the bank. I actually think that's better.
I would agree with you on that because it's harder and harder today to make that happen.
Yeah.
For both men and women.
To make enough money to literally eat and survive, especially in big cities, is impossible. Yeah. So why are you going to actually, there's a guy on TikTok and he is like, his name's like Neurodivergent Nate or something. Okay. And it's funny because I guess he was like he was or is a school teacher or something. He made a video and I followed him and I agree with every single talking point ever since that like bringing children into the world when you live in poverty is a form of child abuse. And I'm like, I could not agree more. And it even is statistically proven. Like you're setting them up to fail and to go through trauma. And not having money as a child is embarrassing. It can be traumatic. You don't have resources you need. And it's so funny because people get so mad because they think that we're basically trying to say like, poor people should not be allowed to reproduce, which is, of course, we're not trying to take away poor people's rights. Like that's very totalitarian and we don't agree with that. Yep. But we do agree it is abuse.
Well, it is. And I know firsthand that it is because I had a gentleman on the show. He's now a retired Navy SEAL. He grew up that way. And he talks about the abuse. He talks about growing up poor. He talks about going to his cousin's house and stealing toys because his mom was like laid out with heroin needles or whatever in her arm at Christmas and he didn't have a toy.
It's so sad.
I mean, that is abuse.
It is.
And the abuse continued on until he got into, his late teens and joined the military and started like shifting his life around.
And that shift came because he was able to get out of that home, which you need money.
And the driving factor for that was his grandmother.
Yeah.
His grandmother saw that he was greater than the circumstances and she pushed him hard to go and make a better life for himself.
I mean, I agree. Like, I think like there's a point where it's like, it sucks because like you can't put these like barriers on people because it's inhumane, but at the same time, like, yeah, let me go on social media and like I see women popping out 9 babies so they can get checks from the government, welfare money, and then like there was a woman literally on the news and like a Black woman, and she has like all these children and she's on welfare checks and she's eating like whatever poppy steak in Miami and all this shit. It's like, I'm sorry, woman to woman, you're a piece of shit human. Child Protective Services should take all those children. You should be behind fucking bars. That's abuse on another fucking level. And as a woman to see that is disgusting. We all know that like human beings, like especially women, I think women, obviously since the dawn of time, what have we had? We've had our bodies to sell when we don't have money. And it's like you're
the oldest profession in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the biggest profession in the world today. Still is literally prostitution.
Exactly. I saw a really interesting podcast on that the other day. I was just like, wow.
I mean, that's like the most promoted job in the world right now, and accepted and pushed upon young women. And it's like, you're telling me like growing up poor as a woman doesn't come along with straight up trauma when you know for a fact the one thing you can get money for is literally like selling your body, and the trauma that's like lifelong that comes away with that. Like, I don't care what people say, it is trauma and it is abuse, and like you should not be allowed to have children if you're broke and can't even take care of yourself. I think you're a horrible person. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, people do need to step up and do what's right, but a lot of people don't. And then that you get in that cycle, and it's really hard to break it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it just continues on and on. You know, the other thing, I feel like women are not celebrated for being engineers, fighter pilots, scientists, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really rare that you see a female really celebrated in that world. Like Cody Sanchez, she talks about a lot of business stuff and like she's doing a great job promoting herself.
Yeah.
But you just don't see it in the mainstream media. And so what is that messaging to young women?
Well, you don't see them being celebrated, but you see every, like, let's be real, like prostitute in the country being celebrated constantly.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I love her. She's on Love Island, where she talks about how she can't wait to get banged out by a dude on a show. Oh my God, she does OnlyFans. Like, oh my, it's like, I mean, like at this point, we've like gone so far away from like traditional roles, and like literally this girl makes videos and she's like, what benefit does a woman have in today's society by being traditional? By being a traditional, conservative, covered up woman, she's not going to get the attention. She's not going to get the followers online. She's not going to get the cool guys. She's not going to get the guys. All those guys want the untraditional girls. I mean, granted, maybe when it comes to like marrying, they'll change, but at the same time, we don't give those women reasons to be those things because they're not even celebrated.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. I mean, well, the family is not celebrated that much anymore. It's a big issue. And so
moms aren't celebrated.
Yeah, moms aren't celebrated. And like, as a woman's instincts to like be a mother, are being denied, right?
Yeah, but it's not only not celebrated, it's really like women have no community, which as a woman is the most important thing in the world to have support, because like, no offense, like I don't believe even a husband can understand what you're going through as a woman. You need other women around you, and strong women, and that are on your team, which I think is almost impossible these days. Like, finding girlfriends is so hard out here. Nevertheless, conservative ones that like are in good relationships and want to have families, that's like insane to come across now. And that are, for me, like Republican, like we have to be politically aligned because all those things kind of go together. But it's like, now you're shamed, which is what we were talking about. Every video online now is just shaming trad wives and basically saying that they have Stockholm syndrome and they're abused because of the choices they made, which is funny because apparently doing OnlyFans and all these things is not abusive and is super empowering, and being in a shitty relationship with a guy that cheats on you is like way, as long as he pays for things, is way cooler than these women who are like cooking and doing amazing things all day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up in that kind of family, very traditional. My dad was going to work. My mom stayed home with us. She was the caretaker of the home and the family, and my dad worked. And so, and I feel that was a blessing because it's allowed me to be as successful as I've been, have a well-rounded, balanced idea of what masculine and feminine is, how the family works, how important the family is. And so, yeah, I very much personally agree with those traditions. And kind of get back to your point, women are not celebrated
No.
the way they should be, right? There's no, like I was saying, those careers, like there's nobody saying, oh yeah, hey, she's doing this amazing job with some new cutting edge science, right?
That's sad. I can't even think about one woman who's a role model to me that I look up to in any career.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I'm sure if I asked my boyfriend, he'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like,
Candace Owens is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, to me, she's like the epitome of like smart, strong, badass female. I don't agree with her on like probably 50% of things. I'm sure if she knew me in my past, she'd probably think I suck too. But I mean, to do what she does in that space is one of like, being a female in this space is crazy. I'm like at the bottom. Her at the top, I can't even imagine what she goes through. I would never want that life.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You got to be real masculine.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I noticed about her is that she, to be able to do that, like requires a lot of masculine. And what does that do? That drops the feminine experience of her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like...
And the happiness that comes along with being able to be feminine.
Yep.
I'm not happy when I'm in my masculine, which I have to turn it on for work, and trying to turn it off when I get home is very difficult.
Well, you need your boyfriend to do that.
Yeah, because he'll be like, all right, turn it the fuck down. You're home. You're not debating someone. You're not fighting. You're not fighting for your opinions right now. He's like, chill it out, because I don't like it. And I don't like being in that state either. I just have to do it to like survive and be able to do my job.
Sure, right? Like the whole boss babe thing. A lot of the guys I work with, when they're trying to date, they're like, oh, like I can't handle her. I'm like, you can. You're not bringing your masculine so that she can settle down into our feminine.
Yeah, we need to feel safe and protected, and like we're able to do that without you thinking we're weak. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because I think it comes across as sometimes very like weak when it's not. It's actually like us being in like our best era of ourselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is really hard to do what we do for a living and like turn that off. But I do see females, even that work in like fashion, saying that they struggle with the same thing in their marriage.
I could see how that would be really difficult. Like for me to act feminine, that would be like the weirdest thing in the world.
Exactly.
I'm like I never thought about it. So we just started kind of like talking about this way. But like, I could not do that.
Yeah.
So as a woman, to be able to like go into the masculine and do that kind of stuff and then have to shut it off. Yeah, that is real.
And I feel like I have to be in my masculine to be respected in what I do, because immediately, because the way I look, I'm stupid, I'm an idiot, I slept with whoever to get here, I'm only put on the news because the way I look, I only have my platform because of the way I look, which is funny because all that comes from women, not men. Men actually are like, hey, good for you. You're like smart and have balls. Like, that's what's up. Like, that's why we like you and support you. Of course, it's probably nicer to look at you than someone else, but you know what I mean? It's just funny because it's like, it's always women tearing me down online and sending me all the hate mail.
But women are vicious.
It's like, why don't, if it's so easy, why don't you do what I do? Why do you care? It doesn't affect you. And it's like, it's just so funny because they always fit into this like one category. Like all my girlfriends who are amazing women, every screenshot we send that is a nasty message, it's a woman. And then you go to their bio, it's like feminism, women support women. You're like, unless it's someone you are threatened by and you don't agree with. Or the pick me comments, which are so fucking annoying. I can't. Oh my God, has he picked you yet? You've said everything to validate men. I'm like, I'm not saying these things to validate men. Trust me, I could be full-blown man-hating feminist and get the same amount of attention from men. I say these things because it's what I believe. And maybe if you believe these things and acted accordingly, you'd have a fucking man too, but you don't. Instead, you're shitting on me online. Let's be fucking real.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Let's talk about dating and your perspective of it.
Yeah. Thank God I don't have to do it. Or I would.
Me either.
Yeah. Literally, it's so funny when you're in like a relationship, you're like, thank God I'm not out there, because I hear horror stories.
Same. I mean, a lot of guys I deal with and work with, they come for, help with dating relationships, but we also do work on their masculinity. We work on business, career, and their health.
Yeah.
Right? And, the stories they tell me and in the beliefs that they have are bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah, and I also think this is all promoted by social media.
Totally, 100%.
On top of like everyone's like poisoned, but I do think it's like literally social media. I mean, the amount of women who have podcasts that are just shitting on men and they're like famous for it.
Yeah.
Like these girls contribute nothing. They don't have like intelligent conversations. They've never created anything. They just sit there and they shit on men and women eat it up. And I'm like, not sure what this is doing for either side. And then obviously it makes men hate women. So it's a lose-lose.
Of course.
But then also they'll have boyfriends. And I'm like, ew, what kind of cuck boyfriend would be dating some bitch that literally sits online and shits on men for a living? That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. I wouldn't tolerate it.
No, as I'm saying, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's insane.
I would never even like raise my voice to my boyfriend.
Hey, Dave here with the Limitless Brave Show. I hope you've been enjoying the show as much as I have been enjoying making it for you. And I want to introduce our next guest. And this guest is doing some amazing stuff in the world. Please welcome Woobies. Now, I've recently partnered with this company because of their incredible mission. Their mission is to put a pair of Woobies on every homeless vet's feet. That's a huge mission, and it's one I can get behind. So guys, if you go and purchase a pair of Woobies, a homeless vet's gonna get a pair of shoes for free. And we need to help out our vets because they put their life on the line so that we can live in this incredible country. And so I was very curious about this company. I flew down to Dallas, Texas, where their headquarters is. I spent the day with the CEO, and let me tell you, these guys are on point. And not only that, it's a veteran-owned company. So it's veterans helping veterans. What an awesome mission. So these are the Mod 2s, and this is the high top version. They also make a low top version. These shoes can be worn on land and in the water. This is the official shoe of Naval Special Operations Dive School. Guys, if Special Operations is using this shoe, you can too. And so I took my Woobies to New York City recently, to Washington, D.C., and around Los Angeles. And let me tell you, they were comfortable right out of the box and something that I enjoyed wearing. They have a true paracord shoelace and a certified non-slip sole. So if you need a certified non-slip sole for your work, these are the shoes. And this is a canvas upper, and it breathes and dries really quick. So if you're in and out of the water, like I am when I'm diving, these things are awesome. They have a lot of different colorways for you to check out. So please go support their mission at woobies.com. I'll just go with this.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen them out there. It is really annoying to hear that kind of stuff. And I'm like, and to your point, they literally have done nothing. They just sit out there, run their mouth, and their lives are a mess, most of them. And so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand complaining about something without contributing somehow. I sit online. It's my job to complain about politics all day. So I actually get involved. And by the way, speaking on things and educating people and bringing awareness, which is what I do, is doing something. Because people are like, why don't you do something about it? I'm like, dude, I literally get involved every single way I can. But at the same time, there's a lot of evil forces that constantly work against people like me, where I'm only going to get involved to the point where, like, I don't want to be a politician because I don't want people going after me, my family, my privacy, and all these things. It's like they make it so people like me don't want to get in and get involved. But I'm like, I still do shit. Even just speaking the truth to me is enough. But you're going to sit and be like, all men are shit? Okay, what the fuck are you bringing to the table besides a bad attitude and way too much weight on you? Seriously, and if you know who I'm talking about, you know damn well I'm right.
Yep. I think I do.
Just saying. And the thing is, like, a lot of her videos I used to like when I was like more of like liberal, but I liked it because they were funny. Because once in a while, a guy would say something to her that was so dumb, he deserved to get torn apart.
Hey, if we're saying dumb stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like, go for it. I say dumb shit every day. Yeah. And when people tear me apart online, I'm not shocked by it. But when it's your entire personality without... Okay, so you're complaining about a problem. How are you fixing it? I'm complaining about a problem. I want district attorneys that prosecute crime, so I'm going to endorse one that does that. So I am trying to fix it. I'm doing something. These women are doing nothing.
Yeah, we definitely need...
Also, be a lesbian. If you think all men are trash, they all cheat, they're all useless, be a lesbian and shut up. That's what I would do. I wouldn't complain all day. And ironically, I've never had a problem with dating in my life. And somehow I'm the opposite of these women. So I'm like, just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying, something's kind of connecting. All the liberal women are having trouble dating online and bragging about how they're so happy being childless at 40. I'm like, if you're happy, you don't have to tell people about it.
Exactly.
But it's because they saw Chelsea Handler,
People see it.
who's horrific and really embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, you sent me a screenshot the other day of, you know, the 42-year-old woman that's like free, and yeah, what is it a picture of? It's her out drunk, a mess. And I have seen that woman so many times out and about. It's so embarrassing.
It really
I really
is embarrassing.
feel for them. I really feel for them.
Yeah, like what man is looking at her but like, she's living the dream.
Yeah.
42, childless, just out at that club with 20-year-olds probably.
Yep.
I feel too old. First of all, I don't even go out and I don't drink anymore. I feel too old to be places. But it's like funny because it's like, to them it's a flex. To a normal person, it's extremely embarrassing.
Yeah.
Especially being single at that age.
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to like, what is going on?
She's just watching CNN all day. She's like watching CNN all day and like probably commenting on my videos that I'm ugly and should kill myself. And that I've failed. Because she was like, the right hates us. Like, sweetie, the right is not even thinking about you. We only dislike you because statistically, the way you vote, you've ruined our country. That's our only issue with you. Frankly, I'm like, please don't reproduce. I think you're an idiot, and I think you'd probably have idiot children. So I'd prefer you continue to get drunk and sleep around well into your 80s. Please don't reproduce. We don't want more of you.
Yeah,
Go off.
We all know there's people that just shouldn't be procreating.
But she's the same woman who's probably commenting on, I think it's Ballerina Farms, TikTok, being like, oh my God, this woman is so miserable and abused. She has a good-looking husband. He is,
So, hold on-
yeah, I'm like,
hold on a
let's
sec.
go.
Hold on a second. So you sent me this yesterday. I'm eating lunch, and I'm like, what in the hell is Ballerina Farms?
Is that what it is? I might be wrong. Whatever, they know.
I think it's
I think it is Ballerina Farms.
Ballerina
Okay.
Farms. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, is this some like crazy conspiracy thing where they're like trafficking girls to a ballerina? Like that,
Which is what it looked like,
Yeah, that's
according
what
to the
I was-
online community.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He sent that to me. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what this is. But my wife, she enlightens me.
Clarified.
Yeah, what was going on? So tell us about ballerina.
Which is funny because I don't know either. All I saw is like, I'm on TikTok, unfortunately, too much hours of the day. And I see a like controversy online, which I was like, oh, I thought this woman like killed her entire family with the backlash that I was seeing. And then I realized like, of course, she's a trad wife, aka she's a normal woman who's probably happy and can cook, and she has like a husband who apparently is a billionaire, owns like an airline company, and she has like 8 kids. And everyone just decided there was a video, I guess they were doing like a Vogue, maybe house tour or something. And there was a video where she was like, oh, I hope these are tickets to Greece. But it was a cute little like apron that you put eggs in. And so everyone just took that video and was like, so she's abused. She has Stockholm syndrome. Her husband's horrible and all these things because I guess she was like one of the top ballerinas in the world and went to like Juilliard or something.
Yeah.
And so everyone just decided to take this woman's personal life and to make it their own story. And the amount of videos I've seen is like pretty crazy because it's like, you don't know this woman. And also, finally, some women are like, hey, maybe like being a ballerina wasn't her dream. And she's currently like living her dream because like, let's be real, she's in a better situation than 99.9% of you guys. So I don't know why you're so concerned. And if she wants to leave her husband, he's a billionaire, she's probably going to come out with a fat check and continue to be fine. To me, she looks very happy and normal. I'm sure if they want to go to Greece, he'll take her. And I'm sure she loved her fucking egg apron. These fucking mentally ill psychopaths online. Like, they hate seeing women happy. The feminists, all the left-wing women, hate seeing women happy, and they hate seeing them happy online. And it's like, they just want everyone to be miserable like them. Because I'm like, anyone would look at that and be like, okay, do I want to have kids and be married to a billionaire and have a beautiful home and eat delicious food that isn't poisoned? Or do I want to like break my feet every week and be a ballerina and have like an eating disorder and work my ass off and
do tons of coke
and yeah,
the body
and give up all those things, that a lifetime of happiness for a couple years of success, if anything. But yeah, the internet, just all the lovely women on the internet just take it and just run with it like the psychopaths they are. And it's weird to see. It's so funny. Like, I get hate from men too, but like, dude, women are like, they just hate seeing other women happy.
I would agree with that. Not even talking about this.
Yeah.
I have seen that with girls who are friends of mine, like attacking other girlfriends of theirs.
Yep.
Because that girlfriend is being happy.
Oh yeah.
Or has something great happen.
Yep.
But I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Guys don't really do that.
Because guys don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we don't.
No offense. I think because you guys are mentally and physically more busy and you're so normal, I don't think, well, to be fair, I don't think men by nature are as in competition as women are. Like, we're like in competition 24/7. The difference is I surrounded myself recently with girls that are on my level or higher. So there is none of that weird competition. But I recently cut out a friend and I just was like, well, first of all, now I know why you're single, because you're fucking insane. You are the epitome of every girl I see online who's like, okay, do you not think it's weird? If you are not a professional, a therapist, relationship coach or whatever, and you're single, why the fuck are you giving dating advice to people? I literally was like, so you've never been in the kitchen, but you're giving me Michelin star cooking lessons right now. That's what I'm getting at with you. And she ended up like going nuts and blocking me and everything. But I was like, oh, you're the women I see online now. And it's all starting to make sense. You've done everything. You've worked on yourself. You've done the mushroom trips, blah, blah, blah. And you think you deserve a guy. You have crazy standards. They're unrealistic. Yep. You don't work on yourself one day or a week or a year. You do it for the rest of your life.
Yep.
And let's be real, like, men don't like you because you're nutty. Yep. And then I tried to give her advice and then it backfired on me. And as a woman, I see too, when I talk to my girlfriends who aren't in healthy, successful relationships, they take my winnings as their losses. So instead of being happy for me that I found someone because I did put the fucking work in, and I put it in every fucking second of every day, they take it as like, oh, well, you're talking about my failures. I'm like, it's not about you. Yeah. Like, be happy for me. But that's the thing. That's why the older women get, when they're single and all these things, you really have to be around women that are on the same playing field. Like, I really prefer to only hang out with girls in successful relationships or marriages because they understand and we're not in competition anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I've seen that so many times with women. It's the craziest thing. And yeah, like I was saying, as guys, we don't really do that. Like, if it's sports or something, or like
something competitive.
Yeah, something competitive. Yeah, we'll do it. But like, to try to like knock each other down, we really don't do that as guys.
Yeah.
We really don't.
And also, like, men will be honest with each other and they'll take the feedback, or they'll be like, whatever, dude. Women, when you try to be honest with each other, like, my girlfriend
realize it and just like
it's crazy. Like, my girlfriends know that they can say shit to me and they're probably right, and I'll take it in, and like maybe for a couple minutes I'm like, oh, fuck you, you know what I mean? But like, I'll actually absorb it. I've tried to give girlfriends advice and they go mental. Like, you don't know me, you don't know anything, you're wrong, blah, blah. And I'm like, holy shit, okay. Now I see why maybe you're not very easy to date. Like, oh my God, you're this confrontational with me and I'm literally trying to help you. And they're like, oh no, you're just a narcissist, you're misogynistic, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing better than you, so maybe you should sit the fuck down and take some advice for once. But they take it so personally.
Yeah, well, a lot of people take so much shit personally.
Nothing's really personal.
It does, yeah, exactly. Like, I just see it like more now than ever. People get so bent out of shape about anything. They'll take whatever and make it personal. I'm like, that's
not about you.
Remotely personal at all.
Try wearing a MAGA hat in LA and watch white women have fucking mental breakdowns around you.
So it was really interesting. I was walking back from the gym the other day, and there was like kind of like this older couple pulling up in a car, and the little lady, she had her MAGA hat on.
God bless her.
And she looks at me and she like waves. And
so cute.
Because I was standing right on the corner, and I like waved back to her, and then they just cruised on by.
So cute. I love it.
I was like, look at this.
It makes me so happy. It was like the best part of the RNC is like being around like literally 50,000 people, all races, age, fucking everything. Just, oh God, elderly people with MAGA hats on. Like literally my heart is like just melting. I've never felt so much love in a room in my life. I literally wish I could like hug every single person there. But it is funny.
So you just, I want to talk about RNC.
It was great.
Okay.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I literally posted videos like, I feel bad for leftists that never get to be in a room and feel that type of energy and love their country. Sucks to suck.
So how was Trump?
Great. It was just like, oh my God. I mean, it was so crazy because for the first time, I felt like the character when he walked in, like, and this isn't even the speech. When he walked into the room and everyone was cheering and standing up and everything post attempted assassination, it was like one of those things, like for once I felt like the character was turned all the way off and it was just truly him. And when he walked into the room, I could tell it looked like he was about to cry. And I think he like looked around the room and was like, holy shit, all these fucking people are here for me. These people spent money. They flew here. These are hardworking Americans.
No.
And this is exactly who everyone here is who I'm fighting for. And he made a speech, and this was even written at the walls on the RNC. He was like, they're not after me, they're after you, and I'm the only thing in the way of that. And I'm like,
I saw.
God, that is the truest statement he's ever made.
Yeah, it is true. You know, I grew up in DC, in Maryland, just north.
Mm-hmm.
I know what goes on there. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's horrible, and it is a cesspool, and it needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all for these term limits. I'm all for getting these people out of there that just suck the life out of America and take advantage of it.
Yeah. Drain everything with free letters in it. We don't need any of it. The government now is a mafia, and instead of like mafias who used to protect their citizens and take some money, which I would 100% go back to that. I know I'd be at least protected, and I'd rather give 50% of my money to a mob boss that protects me. Now we give them all of our money, and they intentionally hurt us.
Yeah.
With no protection.
And waste it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they just waste the shit out of it. Like, yeah, the government is a disgusting thing. I mean, no, there's parts of it that are needed. Like, I'm all for defense.
Yeah.
I want to live in a safe country. You know, infrastructure, critically important.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of this other crap that they spend money on is just...
And it's just all to go into their own pockets. And let's be real, all they want is war. They want war. They want weapons.
The military-industrial complex is a very real thing. Having grown up in and around DC, I knew what DC was back in the day before military-industrial complex became what it became.
Yeah.
You go to DC now, everybody's living large, and nobody is complaining about the military-industrial complex because everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar, and they're making tons of money.
And why do you think they want him out so bad? The first president that kept us out of wars, doesn't want war, is literally anti-war, which is so funny. Everyone's like, he's so divisive. I'm like, why do you think they're after him so hard? He doesn't bring us in. Biden brought us into 2 wars. If Trump was in charge, neither of those wars would happen. It's a fact.
I agree 100%.
And everyone I know with a brain agrees with that. And it's so funny that we have crackhead Hunter Biden, who's the head of the energy department in Ukraine. I'm like, what does a crackhead know about energy? And how does he afford to have hundreds of millions of dollars? By the way, I was just at my friend's house in the Venice Canals. He was their neighbor. Motherfucker skipped out on like $90,000 a month for rent. Motherfucker skipped out on like 3 months of rent, apparently. And I was like, so funny. The president's son skipping out all that money. Where are you getting all that money from? But it's like, of course they're after him because all their hands are in the cookie jar, and without war, oh, well, there goes all their cars and their mansions and all their shady shit they do.
Yeah, there's plenty of that in DC for sure.
Yeah.
Plenty of that.
So I don't want to be a part of it because I don't want to be around just pure evil people. And to me, they're just all evil.
Yeah, there's a lot of darkness there for sure. For sure. I mean, I think they do some good stuff, but
anyone that tries to do good is either like taken out or doesn't get anywhere.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, if you're a successful politician, it's very, I'm like, why are you successful?
And we can see kind of how DC works. Did you ever see the movie Vice?
Yeah.
I love the movie.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But that's how DC works. It's like getting everything set up and enroll your strike.
And it's like funny, the worse things are, the more like smoothly it runs. It's so funny. It's like I made a statement like forever ago that was like they elected a new woman in head of like the homeless committee for Los Angeles. She was getting like $600,000 a year.
I saw that.
And I was like, why is she making that? Why and how is she making that much money? And then I tell everyone, I'm like, everyone's like, why aren't these things being solved? We're dumping all this money into it. And I'm like, these people don't solve it. They make it worse because if they solved it, they wouldn't have paychecks.
Exactly.
How do you not understand that? These are like literally child like concepts. There's that simple. I'm like, no problem, no solution, no money. Meh.
I'm like, I'm sorry. There's nothing that you're doing, nor do you have a skill set that requires over $500,000 of salary to figure out a homeless issue.
And also they're like dumb people. Like this woman, if she had to give a speech, would be done in 2 minutes. She probably sounds like Kamala fucking Harris. She's probably like, would be sitting there cackling and be like, oh, you know, we're working on things. We're doing things. And you're just like, oh, Jesus, this is money laundering at its finest.
Yep.
But people are like, just throw more money at it. We'll fix it.
Yep. It's crazy. So we didn't really get into, we went off on a tangent of DC and the government. We really didn't get into ballerina farms.
Yeah.
So we know that the women, from your perspective, are hating on this lady for giving up Juilliard, giving up her ballet career.
Yeah.
Some people have said that, like, you know, you're saying she was like coerced into that and that she didn't really want to do it. And that there's this dominating male that.
Which is, by the way, you like realize like as a woman, those insinuating those things are crazy. You're basically saying she was forced into a marriage and like raped having 8 kids. Like even insinuating those things to me as a woman is very crazy. And I would not take those things lightly if I had people saying that about me. But it's the internet, so what are you gonna do? Yeah.
So what is your perspective on that?
It's the same with all trad wives. I think they're bitter. I think they're jealous. I think it's crazy. I think any woman who's like, I'm a feminist and I support women and all those things, I'm like, immediate red flag. It's all the hate that me and all my girlfriends get. It's all from women. And I think they're jealous because I think they're looking at something they'll never have. Because of their woke ideologies, they won't be able or allow themselves to ever have these things. So, I mean, think about it. You're like a woman. Imagine being like a woman in your like 30s and you're sitting online hating on a woman for being married with a bunch of kids on TikTok. You're already mentally ill by even just ending up in this place. And it's also like, what do you care? Because it's one of those things they're like, oh, I'm probably being a good person defending her. You're being a good person by taking someone's personal life and completely twisting it on the internet and like humiliating them on their behalf. Like that's what makes you a good person. Sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that do that really have a victim mindset. Like they're a victim.
They all do.
Of everything. And then they take that victim consciousness and project it on to other people.
Yeah.
And try to show them like how much of a victim they are of.
Yeah, which is all it is.
Yeah.
All of those people are victims. Because they're also openly admitting that they couldn't achieve what she has. Do you know what I mean? Which is like how I feel. But it's funny because I'm like, she's not hurting anyone. Who cares? At the end of the day, if she wants to go get divorced, whatever. Do you ever think that maybe she didn't want to be a ballerina or this was more important to her, a lifelong of happiness? Maybe she has 8 kids because her husband is good looking and she just loves banging him. Like, do you ever think about that? Instead of like, she has Stockholm syndrome. And it's like, you're all nuts. It's like
Stockholm syndrome, that's a little extreme.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's like, I saw thousands of these videos.
And now, they're a Mormon family, right?
Probably. They got a lot of kids.
They're in Utah, as far as I know. Okay. I'm not sure. I
don't know either.
I don't know. But, you know, that's like...
It's super normal there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very normal to have a big family. It's like you're a Mormon family. It's very normal to have a big family.
Yeah.
Very big family.
Yeah.
So...
I knew Mormon girls growing up.
Okay.
They were so pretty. These 2 Mormon girls... I think my brother used to date one of them, were like seriously 2 of the prettiest girls I've ever seen in my life. But naturally they got married, one like have kids. They like quit their jobs. But it's so funny because I made the same decision with my boyfriend. I said, no matter how far I get in my career, I would expect you to support me, which he's like thrilled about. The second, like if we want to get married and have kids, I would give all that up to have kids and have a family, which I'm sure to all these women would be like, oh my God, you're just giving your career, blah, blah. I'm like, because I don't want it that bad. I want the other thing more, and the other thing is actually fulfilling. This is only fulfilling to a certain point before I think something bigger and greater comes along, which would be that.
Sure.
And I
would think that, motherhood is way bigger than any career.
yeah.
Now, some women obviously don't think that, and they can do both and whatever, and they're happy doing both.
Yeah.
But from the perspective that you're coming from, yeah, I could see why you would want to give up that life.
Yeah.
And
For something greater, in my opinion.
yeah.
And I also
Raising the family, making sure the kids are
I'm not doing both.
not being influenced by things they shouldn't be influenced, right?
Yeah.
And taking care of the home and doing motherly and wifely type things.
Which is a job, and it is full time, and that's a 24/7 job. So what am I supposed to do? A 12-hour job on top of a fucking 24/7 job?
Exactly.
I'm like, no. And also at the same time, I'm like, a lot of these women, I'm like, sorry, maybe because of your beliefs, you chose partners that wouldn't be able to give you that life. Therefore, you're mad on women whose partners are able to give them that life.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, my mom never worked until she was so much older because her and my dad wanted to make sure that the kids, us, were taken care of and that the family and the house was taken care of. And so that's what they did. And my mom didn't work until much later in life.
Same with my mom.
Yeah.
She took care of us. She was an amazing mom. She did everything in the world for us. My dad, unfortunately, he worked so much. So it's kind of sad. He got to miss out on a lot of things, but he did the right thing because that's what a man does. That's sacrificing. And, then my mom is now, like, she's 67, maybe 70. Yeah, she gets to like work and she has a job she loves.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's not like this thing like you can never go back to a job and a career. My mom literally did it. She started working again in like 50s. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But she did the right thing while she had children.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my mom's the same way. She's 70 and she just retired.
Yeah, maybe I'll have 4 kids and then go be a fucking politician in my 60s, which, let's be real, you probably would do better then because you're more respected because you're older.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a politician now. You know what I mean? So it's not like they treat it like your life is like over. And I'm like, you're not having a baby for 50 years.
Yeah.
It grows up,
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I guess if you don't have that, then how would you know?
Yep.
But I don't know. I just think, I don't know, this whole like manipulation of like women, it's weird because now I'm like, where have we gone in society? So women hate all men, but then they also hate women.
A lot of hatred.
Yeah. So you kind of just hate everything.
Yep. And I mean, it's kind of no different. We have these guys that just hate women as well. And it's because they're seeing these women with the OnlyFans channels going out, showing off their body, guys oogling all over them.
Yeah.
And they can't get a girl to just have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
And so like this hatred and this frustration builds up. And then now that we're adding that to the fire, we've got women hating men, men hating women, and we've got this like big thing.
But this is what they want. They want the government and, the lizard people at the top want no nuclear family and they want to destroy it at all costs. So they literally use social media to manipulate men hate women, women hate men. This war will go on forever. Let's just feed into it as much as you can. And it works. And even for men, what are the top podcasts? Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, where they're learning things and they're educating themselves. What are the top ones for women? Call Her Daddy, a girl who made a career about sucking dick really well to young girls. And then Alex,
really?
Yeah, that is what she is.
Okay, I didn't know that about her. So she had some girl on. So the Call Her Daddy girl, she's the blonde girl.
Yeah.
She's the host, right?
Yeah.
She had another girl on, a girl talking about like what she was looking for in men, about vulnerability and connection, right? And she like went on about like how men can't do this. And I'm like, well, it's not that we can't do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
I said, we just choose not to have our emotions regulate our day. And so therefore,
because we're not a woman.
Yeah, because I'm not a woman. So like I said, we can do it. But, if we do come to you, like know that it's really hard. It's like ripping our hearts out as men to come to our woman and be vulnerable. And so you should pay attention to when your guy's doing that. But yeah, this girl, she was like going on, is like basically was saying like men are incapable of this, but she finds it so sexy when one can, and like it's really difficult. And I'm like, yeah, it is a little difficult for us guys to be that vulnerable. However, she was also kind of like saying like, we need to like be emotional all the time. And I'm like, no, we don't.
So date a woman.
Yeah. That's kind of like what I was.
And it's, so funny. If she was with a man like that, I think she would think it's so weak and unattractive, and she'd probably end up leaving him.
Totally.
So go date a super, super liberal man who is like filled with soy and like cries all day, if that's like what you want. But Jesus, don't marry that man or have kids with that man. I think that's the most unattractive thing ever. Like, I want a masculine man. Like, I want to know if you do come to me and talk to me, or God forbid you are crying. Like, if I see my boyfriend cry, I'm like, that day is like the end of the world to me, because I'm so heartbroken, because I know how much he must be hurting for him to like let his guard down like that. But also, it's like, I want him to be strong and be a provider and all these things. I don't want him to be emotional. I'm emotional. We can't have two emotional people. It's like, it's a feminine quality. Yeah. And it also like makes me kind of like lack respect as well, because I think you should be able as a man to be strong enough to regulate that. But for her to say you're incapable is insane and wrong.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, we are capable of it. But it's just like, we're very calculated about the way we do it.
Stop trying to intertwine men and women. We're different. We're supposed to be different, and we need each other. We're supposed to be 50% this, 50% this. It equals 100. It's perfect. Stop trying to like do this weird thing where we like combine each other. It doesn't work. It does not work. But it's like, she got famous for being like, let's blow everybody and party. And then Alex Earl's huge. And what does she do? Get blacked out every night? And it's like, these are women's role models. Look at the difference of men's role models in podcasts compared to women.
Interesting.
Women should be listening to the men's podcasts.
Yeah, I didn't know that about her, and I've seen her stuff like pop up on feeds, but I've never watched.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never watched her. But I just know that that's, to be fair, as that's what she started. She was a party girl with Barstool, and she was like talking about blowjob.
Barstool.
Yeah, and she had another girl at the time, but I'm just saying, like, look at the difference in men and women. Like, that's who you're listening to. That's who your role model is. No wonder you guys are turning out messed up.
Yeah, and opening OnlyFans channels left and right.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're like, no, oh my God, be young. Go get drunk every night. Sleep with him. It's empowering. Make all this money on OnlyFans. And it's like, all right, everyone acts like they're not going to age one day. And I'm like, you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That ride only lasts so long.
Yeah, same with your looks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to get.
I mean, I hang out with really pretty girls. I mean, all my girlfriends are beautiful, but I hang out with sometimes that are mutual friends of my other friends, and I'm like, damn, you really think this train's just going to be forever?
Yep.
And I'm like, as a woman, I worry for you.
Yep. No, I see that. I see that in young women as well, and I see that in some young men too. I'm just like, guys, like, you got to start thinking a little differently. It's time to.
Yeah.
Because you're headed down a slippery slope.
And it's the same for men. I hate this like really like toxic red pill movement of men being like, oh, women are only good when they're young, and after that they use blah blah, and like, and it doesn't affect us. I'm like, oh, my love, I can assure you, if you lined up all these men in their 30s compared to their 60s, every woman would rather sleep with them and date them and marry them in their 30s. The fact that you guys think you're safe from aging, maybe because you might do it gracefully sometimes, I don't know. My girlfriends are all in their 30s and they're absolutely stunning. I think I am way better looking now than I was in any of my 20s. So I'm like, I don't agree with that. I think it's very toxic. And it's like, and I understand from the men's perspective of like, age is important when you want to have children and all these things. But it's just like this whole thing, like, we're free from aging. I'm like, no, you ain't.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all going down.
100%.
We're all going down in this ship.
100%. Yeah, I do not agree with the red pill guys and like the stuff they say. I'm just like, it's like the weird stuff that they get into.
It's weird. And also I tell them, I'm like, it's very, very bordering pedophile for you to be like, I want a woman who's untouched.
Yeah, I'm like,
okay, most girls lose their virginity at like in LA, like 12, 13 years old. What is, okay, so you want a 13-year-old? Okay, so you're a pedophile. You want her to have no experience, be easy to manipulate, and like literally be like a virgin. I'm like, I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that that's not extremely weird and creepy. I understand you don't want her to sleep with 40,000 men. Yeah. You know what I mean? But these girls they're behaving pretty normally most of the time, and that's a very weird statement to me.
Yeah, I've always found that as weird too. But like you said something there about manipulation. And I think that because a lot of those guys are so weak in their own masculinity and their own ability to hold themselves accountable for things and do stuff for themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they look for someone somewhat vulnerable.
Yeah, it is vulnerable.
To manipulate because they're weak themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I've dated guys that are older, and now that I'm older and I look at them and they're still single, dating girls half their age, I'm like, it's weird.
No.
It's really weird. I mean, you got to admit, you're with them because they're young, they're hot, and they're dumb, and they're easy to manipulate. Whereas, like, even me now, I'm like, yeah, none of that shit's flying. I see right through it. And it's just like it's a little sad. Like, it's like when I see guys out and they're like single in their 40s and 50s, I'm like, bro, it's sad. I feel equally as sad for you as I do for the woman. You know what I mean? But I don't think the men are free from any of these things.
No.
It's not cool to be like a player. It's weird.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't agree with all that toxicness on the other side as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain age for everybody to go play and like do their thing.
Yeah.
Right? Younger.
Yeah.
That's normal, right? But yeah, when you're getting into these older ages.
Yeah, like when you're like 40s and 50s and you're in a nightclub and you're like still trying to hit on girls, I'm like, bro, you're supposed to have a family.
It's super weird.
It's very cringe. It's very weird. And it's also the same way they talk about women being like, oh, you're ran through. Okay, I hope you know women like me see you as equally ran through. Yeah. What do you have to offer me? Oh, cool. So you're in your 40s, 50s in a nightclub and you've banged every single girl possible. You think you have some value to me at that point? Absolutely not. Men will hate that one. I don't give a shit. I'm not fucking catering to anyone.
Well, I mean, it's true. I see these guys. I know the guy.
Yeah. I feel like we all know one of those guys. That's what I'm saying.
The guy that you're talking about, and I'm just like, bro.
And they think they're like living the dream, and I'm like, you're going to be alone.
Like
and
you're so far from the dream, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and you think you're living it, but you continue with these actions to be farther away from it.
Yep.
Because I don't think a woman with value would see you and be like, yeah, that's the one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm glad we can agree it goes both ways, because I find it very disrespectful to women to be like, we're the only ones that age, we're the only ones that, sleep around and we lose value. And I'm like, no, I don't agree with that.
No, I don't agree with that either. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I hear these guys say, and I'm like, this is lunacy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they have to go bang a brain dead 22-year-old.
Yeah. Because
a woman probably my age would be like, you're an idiot.
Because they haven't grown and they haven't matured in a way that's healthy. And so they're like stuck in this loop of being a 22-year-old dude at 50, at 60, or whatever they're doing,
Yeah.
Like,
and they all think they're fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. And you're like, you're not. He is him.
Yeah.
You are not him.
You are not him.
There's one of him. There's a lot of you. You know what I mean? It's funny because I'm glad I'm getting older and can see these things for what they are now.
Yeah. So let's talk about dating for a little bit. What do you like in a man?
I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, well, someone that tolerates me. I feel like I'm so intense and so opinionated and like genuinely behind closed doors, really fucking weird. Like if I didn't, like I know for a fact if I didn't look the way I look, I would be like behind like white padded walls and homeless. I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, Doug and Corrine, because I'm just a fucking freak. I'm just very weird. And I'm like, I just want the opposite of me. I'm super creative. I'm really bad at just trying to live a normal, productive lifestyle. So I feel like my boyfriend's basically the opposite of me. He is like super calm. Mm-hmm. I am not calm. I'm not patient. I'm high strung. He's super patient, very go with the flow, but perfect for me because he is like very no bullshit. And I think I'm someone who has to be like completely tamed, like a wild horse. And he's just been the only person to be able to do that because I'm so nutty and so in my own head, and he takes me out of it. And he's just like, he's literally like he's my accountant, he's my manager, he's my boyfriend, he's everything. And he also like reminds me of a lot of the best parts of my dad, and they get along really well, which is really important to me because my dad's my best friend when it comes to being strong, but also being unconditionally loving. And that's what's important.
Yes. So you just said something that's really interesting there. Women that grow up with a dad that isn't masculine, that is maybe more in his feminine or is not involved in her life, how does that affect her life?
I mean, I just assume it has to. I mean, I'm so lucky. My dad is like literally my best friend, my number one supporter, my number one fan, has always protected me. I mean, always been there for me. And so it's like, I think when you go And when you're dating's one thing. I think when you go to settle down to find someone you're going to marry, you want them to be as close to him as possible. And also his approval means everything. If he didn't like my boyfriend, I would be out. You know what I mean? Because that would be a huge red flag. 'Cause my dad's the most nice, kind, loving, funny person on the planet. But I do think I like when they're together because like they both get to like gang up on me and shit on me the whole time, you know, because they both know what it's like to deal with me on such an intense level. But like I said, like I see so much of him in him. I feel like when I'm around both of them, I feel like completely calm and safe. And I know both of these men would literally die to protect me.
Yep.
And if I didn't have my dad, I would probably be like smoking crack in an alley. I genuinely don't know. There's no way I would be in a healthy relationship. There's no way. Because even with him, I went through so many bad relationships and dating the most toxic, insane guys. But I think you just do that as a girl. But it's good the older you get to have him to like pull you out of that. And then also you're like, I want someone to like that you like and you like to hang out with and you're proud of. And you would be happy to call your son, you know?
Yeah. That
son-in-law, whatever.
That integrates with the family really nicely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And my whole family, most of my family's met him. They're all like, thank God. He's so calm and normal.
That's good.
They're like, holy shit, he's your opposite.
Well, I mean, that's what the feminine does. The feminine is always like doing things chaotic, right?
Yeah.
Like the leaves in the tree. And guys, we're the trunk and the roots and like let you do your thing and then bring you back down.
And I think like also it's so important, this whole thing of like, I didn't meet him and become a stay-at-home wife and gave up my career because I met him. And because for the first time in my life, I was able to get my shit together and get my life organized. As soon as like we really were serious, my career skyrocketed because I had someone who's supportive. So I think these women think, oh, my career's gonna be over. They're gonna make me give up my career. I disagree. I would not be here where I am today if it wasn't for him because he helped me get there.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like a huge positive career-wise as well.
Do you think we have more OnlyFans girls now because fathers have been slacking?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like fathers not even being in the household. I mean, obviously there's so much data and statistics to back that up. You can't even argue with that. That's a huge point in the right-wing community of like there needs to be a father in the household. But I do feel bad because as a girl, I've had obviously how many girlfriends in my life, and every single one without a father is like, especially relationship-wise, is just beyond fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. It would be very difficult for them to be in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, they've had no experience with a solid, grounded guy who's in his masculine, who does masculine things, for them to like make and choose like the appropriate judgment calls to find that good guy.
And what's sad is like, I feel like men to them is like the enemy. So it's just like, you're kind of sleeping with the enemy, but it's like, just take as much as you can. And it like kind of breaks my heart because like these girls have been through like traumatic events with men.
Yeah.
And as a woman, I have like nothing but empathy for them. But it's like, I just wish they could understand like they did horrible things to you and I understand that. But like, that's not all men and like they're not the enemy. And until you break that down, you're never going to be able to find that good guy to break that curse and that cycle of like abuse and all these different things. But I understand where they're coming from because men have been disgusting and horrible to them. And I've heard horrific things where like, you know, when I talk to my boyfriend, he's like, I just like, you know, he has a great loving family and they're all so normal. And he's like, I just can't imagine like how could people do these things to their daughters and sisters and all these things. And I'm like, yeah, all human beings are capable of horrific things.
Totally.
And I would probably be in the same position. I don't judge them because I know if I grew up the way they grew up, I would probably be doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I worry about, you know, young men and young women because of fathers being just such losers, most of them.
And being so weak.
Yeah.
You know?
It's horrible. And, you know, and again, this goes back to tearing down the family, right? And trying to separate it and break it all up and make it a mess. In those values, right? The traditional, like the trad wife, right? Like those values, they're not being looked at as something positive. And then the traditional roles of the male, you know, they're not looking they're not looking at it as a positive thing, and it's a very positive thing. That's why we have so much craziness going on.
Well, and I feel bad for women specifically dating in LA, because I'm like, yeah, like you guys probably want what I want, you know, as a husband. But then at the same time, you look around and it's filled with like literally the most fucking feminine men on the planet, who like men who like are women are getting stabbed to death on the street and they're like recording on their phones and running away. So it's like, well, okay, can you really blame these women? Especially like the Republican women I know in Los Angeles who want a conservative masculine man. And it's like, bro, there's literally none here. Like you're going to have to go to Texas or move away or something. You can't blame them to a certain point.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, I have seen it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I see it and I hear all the stories. So I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I look around and I'm like, there's not many.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not only in Los Angeles. I have seen it around the country. I've seen it around the world. And it's scary. I'm like, where is this headed?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of just like have to find, I don't know, I would say like go to a red state. And I don't know.
Well, I love Texas. I've been I've been going to Texas to do podcasts.
Yeah.
And hanging out with the guys down there and the cowboy culture and stuff. I just love it. It's awesome.
It sucks because they love living here and they don't want to leave, and they shouldn't have to leave to find partners. But then at the same time, and I'm just like, even like, look, but I was like, but also like, where are you going? Like, look at the culture of where you're going. Like really, you don't want to meet a dude at a club or a bar. And like, technically these guys would probably be at the gym or the office, which I guess if you're not either of those places, it's going to be even harder. But I do see a lot of like my friends that are like the most stunning women on the planet. They have good jobs. They're smart. And they just want normal masculine men, and it's like borderline impossible to find. And I'm like,
in Los Angeles.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I'm not a relationship coach. I just talk about politics online. So it's like, I really don't know what to do. If I was in the dating pool right now, I'm sure I would also have maybe a difficult time. I don't know. Like, I guess it would suck too.
Have to go to Orange County.
I was going to say, I was like, I'd probably just go to Orange County and just find like a normal dude there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude that like surfs, has a job. I don't know. Normal shit like that. But
that's guy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Not like, I'm sorry, like going out with your boys to get drinks, low-key kind of feminine when they're like at these like little bougie cocktail bars, like waiting for girls to walk in.
Yeah, that's like the weirdest thing to me.
It's a little weird.
I was like, what are you guys doing?
Not for me.
Yeah.
No, not for me. And even just like the way like men approach, or they don't approach women.
Well, they don't.
They don't. So that's a huge thing.
They don't. And I had talked about this on a podcast recently. Due to the Me Too movement, that is a big reason why men don't. And hey, you know, those guys are perpetrators. And like I've said it once, I'll say it again. Like, get rid of them. They don't need to be a part of society.
Yeah.
Anybody that's taking advantage of someone else, harming someone else, get them out of society. They don't need to be here. And then we have the legal consequences, right? Somebody had to comment, of course, they're like, it's only a 1% chance that a man's gonna, I'm just like, really?
Okay. Sure.
I'm like, maybe in your world, wherever you're living, but the fact of the amount of men that I work with is a big concern for them that something is going to happen to them.
Especially successful men.
Yeah, that they're gonna be charged with something they didn't do. And let's face it, the legal system, not in our favor.
No, especially in California. And I will say now, as a successful man, if you're going to go like sleep with women at this point, I mean, like you were really going into the lion's den. But it's funny because once again, I hate to like be like blames on them. This started and is because of left-wing women online who were like literally like, let's go for every man on the planet and destroy their lives, half the time with no evidence or proof.
Yep.
And it's been so many men at this point, and women have no problem destroying men's lives, which is funny because I think women aren't held accountable when they go out of their way to do horrible things and lie about these men. It's funny, they have no consequences, but it's like now men don't want to go up to women, and I'm like, yeah, no shit, you guys ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
And then you complain after you've ruined everyone's lives and the culture has now shifted.
Yep.
Because you're like, oh my God, weirdo. Oh my God, opening a door, misogynistic. And you're like, oh my God, then be treated like a fucking man. Then how about he just goes and like fucking like smacks your ass or something? It's like, what do you guys want?
Yeah, it's insane.
It's exhausting.
Before I had met my wife, I was going on a date with this girl, and we're like walking to the car. I open the door and she looks at me. She's like, I can open my own door. I said, yeah, I know you can, but you're with a man now and I am going to open the door for you.
Thank God I was not born a man.
And I said, if this isn't cool with you, we can end this right now.
Yeah.
Boom, instant change. She was like, oh, holy shit.
If I was a man, thank God I'm not, because I'm psycho. If I was a man, I went and opened the door for a woman. She said that. I would literally be like, okay, bitch, get your own fucking door. And why don't you walk the fuck home? Like, I would have no patience. Like, I would be so nutty. Like, that's crazy. I was the opposite on dates. If a guy didn't open the door, I'd be like, hey, are you forgetting something? You fucking idiot. Like, what are you doing? Like, I would go off. Like, I'd be like, what the fuck do you think this is? And also like pull my chair out for me. I like that. I would be like, I have no tolerance if you don't do those things. But then I guess they're probably like, oh Jesus, there's no winning these days. I went on a date with her. She yelled at me for not doing it. She yelled at me for doing it.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Exhausting.
I mean, I knew where she was coming from. As soon as she said that, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I need to take control of the situation. And when I did, like, there was an immediate shift.
Shift in energy, yeah.
Yeah, because she was just like, oh, holy shit. Like, I'm with a guy. Like, this is...
For once, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't going to fly.
I'd be so mean if I was a guy. I'd be like, all right, bitch, here. Why don't you open your door? Why don't you pay the fucking tab? Why don't you wake up early and go to work? Why don't you do all that since that's the energy you want to throw my way?
Yep.
So exhausting. I know my guy friends the other night were just telling me all their horror stories of dating liberal women before they met their awesome girlfriends. And I was just like, they're like crying on dates, having meltdowns, walking out. I'm just like, oh my God. Can't relate. Sorry.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like, sorry for what you guys go through. That sucks.
I know. I really do feel bad for my guys that come in here and that I work with that are just, they're in a bad place. And you know, I kind of try to show them, like, once you're in your masculine, once you understand like how the masculine works, you'll be able to take all of that positive, good and negative stuff and work with it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to affect you. It's not going to change who you are.
Yeah.
It's not going to make you less of a man.
No.
Or any of that stuff. And they're like their light bulbs go off and they're like, oh, whoa.
And you'll find the right woman when you do those things, but you need to do those things first because then you'll understand the interactions you're having. And like when you have control over the situation, then you can handle it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In guys that can do that, like tap into that primal side of the woman.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, hold on.
Also, I feel like when men are like in their masculine, you like don't have drama. Like when I was dating and I was going on dates with guys that were actually amazing, like on paper, were perfect for me. When things didn't work out, they were so honest and upfront about it immediately. And like I immediately was like, oh my God, yeah, no, totally. Like that's fine. And then we were friends after. But I think it's because they had the balls to be in their masculine and be very like upfront about what they want and need. And we're like, she doesn't fit this, even though I think she's amazing. I was like, that's amazing. But I think that is like, I think, you know, men are usually kind of too cowardly to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why we were able to be friends after. And I really appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because they were probably like, oh, they could just like string me along and lie to me and play with my emotions.
Yeah, the nice guy.
Yeah.
The nice guy.
Which is a really like feminine thing to do.
Totally.
Yeah, and manipulative.
Yeah, highly manipulative. Yeah, just stringing people along, it's not a good thing. And I work with a lot of those guys and I'm like, like we don't do this.
Yeah, no.
And we work on getting that kind of behavior and that patterning out of them. And a lot of those guys have grown up in a household with no father, raised completely by women. So they understand how women manipulate. They have a great...
That's dangerous.
They have a great ability to feel like those types of emotions. And, but they're not grounded. They can't make a decision. They can't lead anyone. And
That's the thing. A strong man should immediately be like, you're great. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
This is what I want. And I don't see you fitting those things. No. So let's not waste either of our time.
Exactly.
Especially because these dudes were usually successful and busy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, I respect that. And then we were like always friends after. And there was no hard feelings.
Yeah, when I went on my first date with my wife, I was like, she was asking me questions, I was asking her questions. I'm like, well, I want this, 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 and this. Are you on board? Like within the first 15 minutes, she's like, yeah. I'm like, perfect.
So funny. I have no idea. I mean, our intentions were we were just violently hungover our first date. I was trying not to throw up. He was trying not to throw up. And then we were drinking, I think, because like, obviously it's not like nervous, but like it's weird. It's weird. And then it was so funny because I don't know if it was the first date or second date. I just remember like he like had in the back of his seat a camo MAGA hat, and I was like, this is great. And he saw me put it on. I was like all excited, and he was like, yep, this was the first one that didn't have a fucking mental fucking breakdown over a fucking hat like a psychopath. And he was
so other girls he had dated.
He said he would do it as a test. He would like take girls on a date, and maybe like after or whatever, he would leave the MAGA hat like on the seat, and he was like every single one would have like a mental breakdown.
I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And when I said that to the party I was at the other night, they were like, oh yeah, like if I would have had that, it would have been even worse. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And then you found the one girl who like puts it on and is like taking selfies, like, fuck yeah. So I was like, and then, you know, it was good from there.
Yeah. And I mean, that message is just amazing. Like, why can't America be great? Like, what is the problem with that?
Why would you not want the country you live in to be great?
Exactly. There's a lot of people that don't. Have you seen this crazy shit with this like communist party that?
Oh yeah. And then like marching,
posting stuff like on TikTok, and
are we shocked?
I'm like,
so I'll drop you off in like North Korea.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
The irony. No, that's what I'm saying. Like we'll just drop you off somewhere. Like I can't anymore. I want to happily start a thing where every single person who burns an American flag, raises another flag, you know, Communist Party of America, no problem. We're going to take people from those countries that I guarantee will be the fucking most MAGA-loving patriots of all time. We're going to do a, you know, little system where we bring them here and we deport you there.
Yeah.
Same with you want to go raise a Palestinian flag and burn the American flag, no problem. Have fun over there.
Yep.
Let me know how it goes being a flaming trans there.
Yep.
Let me know. But it's like sucks because Republicans love immigration. It's what makes us incredible. I want every person who loves America here, and I want all these
people that
fuckers out.
Yeah, people that hate America
Out.
There's what, 212 other countries or whatever.
Go enjoy.
Go enjoy.
Let me know how great communism and socialism is.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's almost like every person flooding here is fleeing those same ideologies.
It's exactly what they're doing. They're coming here because of the freedoms we have, because of the economy we have, because of the political system we have. As crazy as it is now,
yeah,
it's better than anything else out there.
And imagine having all those things and using them to protest online to support communism.
Yeah.
Imagine how dumb you have to be, truly.
It's nuts. It's totally insane. Now, you know, my wife grew up in post-communist Romania.
Oh, okay.
So she knows about communism. She knows how much bullshit it is. Mm-hmm. And these people that are pro, she's just like, I have to like hold her back because she wants to like rip their face off.
Go off.
Yeah.
Literally go for it.
Yeah.
Try to educate these people, because that's every single one of my friends who come from other countries are like, we just want to. And I'm like, no, but like if anyone's going to educate people, it actually should be you. It shouldn't be me. I've had this privilege my entire life. I was born in America.
Exactly.
And that's why also like the Persian community, like look what happened in Iran. They're very hardcore Republicans. They're like, no, you guys have no idea what going through a change in government like that can truly do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
when the Shah was taken out, bad thing.
And what they do, they lied and they promised people all these things, and then look what happens.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, why do you think we fight so hard to keep our rights as well?
Yeah.
Right to bear arms.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
That's a huge thing.
That is, when I look at all of the other countries in the world, and I mean, I'll probably throw out Switzerland because everybody has a gun at their house in Switzerland. Smart.
One of my best friends is Swiss.
It is a very unique right that almost every other country does not have.
I think it's the most important thing in our country.
I think it's very important because
free speech, right to bear arms, right there.
Yeah, our individual freedoms here are beyond anything else in the world. You know, and
our right to criticize our government here is insane. I text friends in other countries and they're like, you can't even send me these things. Like literally, like even my friend in Canada, like sending memes. He's like, you have to be really careful what you send me. Like, dude, they're watching everything. Like, you can't criticize other governments. I'm like, think about how harshly I criticize the government here for a living and make a career off of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we should.
Yeah.
Because they're out of control.
Yeah, you do it to make it better. You also have to hold people accountable and hold people to a high standard. These people are like, you can't criticize them. I'm like, dude, they're civil servants. They work for us. We don't work for them. We pay them.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, they steal our money and then they ruin our country.
Yep. 100%.
It's literally insane. We're living in clown world every day.
Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of Americans do not travel and see the world and see how harsh the living conditions are for a lot of folks outside of America, and in the oppression of their governments and the rights they do not have. It's insane. I mean, every time I come back here, I'm just like, hell yeah. Like all those TikTok videos that have like the,
oh my God, the bald eagle, and it's like,
yeah.
it's like screaming American flag. Oh my God, that audio is my favorite audio because everyone uses it when they travel and they come back to America and they're like, oh my God, we have ice, air conditioning, free speech. Like we have everything here. And I'm like, oh yeah, makes you real patriotic leaving America and coming back, doesn't it?
It does. It totally does.
I mean, we should just like deport every liberal to the Middle East and just like leave them there for the next 5 years and be like, all right, enjoy.
Yep. There's a lot of good things that are going on here. But we got to keep fighting to keep things good and not let it go and turn into a socialist country, a communist country, or worse, whatever.
And why do you think they want that? Because I believe socialism is for the left because it is for the group of people that have admitted that they are victims and they've failed. Socialism is for losers. They hate capitalism because in capitalism you actually have to work hard and compete, and it's fair for everyone. And some people do have advantages. And like by believing in socialism and these liberal ideologies, you just to me have admitted that you are a failure and you believe that you deserve what someone else has, even though they worked significantly harder than you or smarter and better.
Yep. Yeah, it's insane. It's just like all the DEI shit in DC. You know?
DEI is so funny. They're like, DEI is the best thing that's ever happened. We need DEI and everything. And then we're like, all right, she's a DEI hire. And they're like, that's racist and slander. I'm like, y'all are the ones that said DEI was a good thing. We didn't. So when some idiot like Kamala Harris, who blew her way to the top, is up there because she's a black woman and nothing else about her qualifies, don't say it's slander. That's what you guys wanted. Yep. You guys wanted unqualified people of color to be at the top to, first of all, endanger everyone around them, especially when it's like pilots and all this stuff and airplanes are crashing left and right. And they're like, oh, good. As long as it's every pilot is black and trans and no, we're crashing into buildings every day, it's fine. And I'm like, but all of a sudden now it's slander when Republicans use it and call people DEI hires.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like that should not be happening. It should be based on merit. Like, do the work, do a good job, compete and be the best. That's how America grows and stays the best.
But these people are not that. They're losers. They sit at home online and they're like, oh, I want everything that this rich person has. Tax the rich. They pay the most taxes, idiots.
Yeah, exactly. And so that they don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's crazy because that has seeped into government. And, you know, look at the assassination attempt.
Oh, which, by the way, according to the left, there was no gun. It was an assassination attempt. We're overreacting. CNN literally put out, we don't know if this was a gun. And also they told us to calm down with the rhetoric after they attempted to assassinate our candidate because they're the losing side. So they actually have to kill our candidate because we actually win elections fair and square by having a more popular person and going out and voting. They have to import 20 million fucking illegals and attempt to kill our side. So...
yeah, the other thing that CNN did was when that first happened, they put Secret Service rushes to help Trump who fell. And wouldn't even admit that there was an assassination attempt when every other news media.
And you see they're trying to erase history by covering all that up now. And if you ask AI, Meta or whatever, it said that never happened. And that's what we've been posting about for 2 days. My girlfriend got reposted by Elon Musk. Literally, Meta AI was like the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, like never happened. And if you Google it, it wasn't coming. And then if you Google like Trump, like nothing comes up but really great puff pieces for Kamala Harris. Like they're literally in front of our eyes trying to rewrite history. Yeah. And it's crazy.
Well, I mean, Silicon Valley is...
That's why I'm like, oh, literally, how can you... when we were saying fake news, like what, like freaking forever ago, I'm like, if you still watch these platforms, you are clinically insane. Like, you're nuts. And I don't even, that's not even me being like, go watch Fox News. I'm sure they're biased about things too. But like, if you're watching those platforms, you really are insane. To deny an assassination attempt is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it happened.
And then how many millions of people the next day were on TikTok and social media being like, I'm glad it happened, wish it happened, he had it coming.
Yeah, that was insane.
And then they cried when they all lost their jobs. Imagine if we said that about Obama, God forbid, Biden, literally anyone.
And I'm surprised that, like, I mean, yeah, it's free speech. You can say whatever you want, but
there's no such thing as no consequences with speech.
Exactly. I do believe that Secret Service will investigate a lot of that data.
Yeah, well, as they should.
As they should, because...
I mean, I think they're all in on it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Clearly. Clearly they were in on all of it.
I forget who it was just speaking about like how the internal side of Secret Service is just a disaster. Just like most of the other agencies in DC.
Because they're all infiltrated by the Democrats. Everything they touch turns corrupt. Every single 3-letter agency in the entire country is all against this one man because they know he's the only one with the power to expose any of their bullshit. And so like they're literally, their last attempt was to kill him. And even Alex Jones was talking to Tim Dillon. He was like, they're not going to stop. I mean, at the RNC, they had to shoot a person. People were jumping the fences. They were trying to like assault us. I'm pretty sure a guy was going to come in and shoot us. And it's like so funny because left-wing TikTokers were like at the RNC until like they love gays making TikToks. No one gives a fuck about them. I'm like, oh, imagine me at the DNC with a MAGA hat on. You think I wouldn't immediately be maced, assaulted, spit on, the party of love and tolerance? And also like, congrats, you fucking low-life idiots. You guys went and praised an assassination attempt and then lost your jobs and now you're upset about it. There's no such thing as free speech. I do this for a living. Nothing's fucking free. Everything I say has consequences, and I've dealt with them severely. So congrats, you idiots finally have consequences too. Imagine your kid's 7 years old and the school teacher has a fucking trans flag and is talking about the assassination, how happy she would have been. Really? That's not mental illness? You want your child in that school? No, you should be fired. I think you're nuts.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, oh my God, the children finally have consequences for the first time in 4 years and they can't handle it. It's such a joke. They don't know how free speech works.
Yeah, there is consequences for it. That's for sure.
But it's because Republicans are so used to having the most severe consequences imaginable. They're so used to getting away scotch-free. They just couldn't believe that that could happen to them.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I hope that they go as wild, and I know they won't, but I hope they go as wild as the January 6th stuff and investigate all of it.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's so funny when you talk to liberals. Okay, first of all, let's be very clear. They all hate this country. They literally want socialism. They want Donald Trump assassinated. They call for violence every single day. They literally have called him Hitler for how long? And apparently that's not calling for violence, and called him a dictator, all these things. So the left-wing media should be legally, and Biden administration should be held accountable. They talked about putting a bullseye on him right before this happened. And then it's so funny because like the party of like love and tolerance is like all of a sudden overnight, it just the gaslighting is so crazy with these people. Literally, I can't even talk. I did middle ground Jubilee and I got to 20 minutes in. I go, fuck a middle ground. Fuck these people. They're the most anti-American people. Why do you care about January 6th? You hate America.
Yeah.
What do you care about the Capitol? Anyone inside of it? You literally say that you want to abolish police and abolish all systems, including all the ones in the Capitol. One person got shot and it was a Trump supporter. So shouldn't you be happy? Like, I don't understand how you can hate America, but you're upset about January 6th. And then we talk about the assassination. They're like, literally, who cares? Well, innocent people died. So it was actually a lot worse than January 6th. Yeah. And we don't want to, and you know, Trump said to protest peacefully. It's on a tweet. There's timestamps. Nancy Pelosi was the one shutting everything down. But like, dude, you literally on Jubilee, we start playing videos. You show these people the truth. They shut down. They walk off the stage. They threaten to walk out because they can't handle the truth because they're in the Matrix and God forbid they see anything. Their little stupid fake world starts collapsing. They're like, we love Biden. And I go, Trump is racist. And I go, here's Biden calling black people super predators. And here's him saying the N-word. They're like, no, it must be a deep state fake. Okay.
That, and then him saying, like, you're not voting for me.
You're not black. And I'm like, that man was like the most pro-segregation man of all time.
It's like, that was so weird.
So weird. But he's also, these are the same people that were like, Biden is sharp as a tack. And then they were like, okay, now he's brain dead. Okay, now Kamal. I mean, like literally they are just sheep. They are not capable of independent thought process and they're very, very mentally ill.
Yeah, there's like speculation that Obama's been running the show from Georgetown.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Biden is literally a puppet. He's been a failed career politician his whole life, and now they just needed him to be in charge while they do everything behind the scenes. But I feel like that's like now mainstream news.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. But I'm not like a super political, like knowledgeable person,
Me either.
but
Same.
I did see that the other day and some people talking about, him there.
Yeah.
Like, nobody can like really prove anything, but there's some things.
I think he's a body double right now. Like the CIA is probably like full on like putting masks on people and stuff. Because it looked like he grew a couple inches. I'm pretty sure at 80 years old, you're not growing like 4 inches overnight.
Yeah.
His wife is a horrible person too. She should be like in jail for like elder abuse.
I don't know much about her.
Fake doctor Jill Biden. She's like not a real doctor. She's a doctor the way Fauci's a doctor.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. When are we gonna lock him up?
Oh my God. If there's one thing I will do for the rest of my life career-wise, it will be to go after him and every single politician who said the vaccine was 100%, you have to get it, or else we're going to take your lives away from you. And now they're like, we never said that.
Yeah.
Every single person should be tried for crimes against humanity. That was an attempted, literally, Holocaust on the people of America. And they should be, of the world, and they should be in prison. He lied about everything. We have all the evidence, all the data, all the doctors who were stripped of their licenses, all the cures that they said were right-wing conspiracies, which weren't, that they blocked people from getting, all the ventilators they put people on, they knew they would die. They are literally sick people, and they should all be in prison for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
Rand Paul was right about all that.
I agree. I mean, it's absolutely insane what happened with that. And when I was in the air when the announcement happened, landing in Istanbul, that we were going to shut down the country. And then, Fauci's up there talking all this stuff. And I'm like, who is this guy? Like, none of this makes sense. Like, my spidey senses, I'm like, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't feel like any of this is as extreme as they're making it.
No.
And then now you have people that are already victim mindset, like literally losing their minds over this stuff. And destroying businesses, destroying economies, destroying people's lives, stuff they worked for their entire life, all because some idiot said that, oh, this is super dangerous, it's going to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, which is funny because actually what killed everyone was locking people inside of their homes for years.
Exactly. It's nuts.
And it's so funny because like all Republicans literally knew all this and everything was suppressed from the public. And then to come out and gaslight people, be like, actually, we didn't force you to take the vaccine. Oh yeah, you just threatened to take away my entire life around the vaccine.
Exactly.
And also, let's be real, Fauci lied and killed everyone with AIDS, and then he went and did this with COVID. So he's just another, another person just in the matrix, just working away with everyone. So good for him. And guess what? He was on the news every day for how many years? When's the last time you heard of him or saw him? Where is he? On fucking an island? He's probably on like Epstein's Island vacationing right now. It's literally insane how someone can dictate your entire life, your business, the entire world, and one day they're just when they should be charged with things, they're just magically gone. Yeah. Crazy.
And it was such a divisive thing because
oh my God,
turning against each other. And like I was walking down the street, like I'm not wearing a stupid mask, I'm not doing any of this shit because I know
I'm not strapping paper to my face because I'm not clinically fucking insane.
And so, I'm like walking down the street. This guy comes out of his house and like, this is at the height of it, yells at me, "You need a mask." I'm like, bro, I'm outside. I'm good.
We're good.
Just go mind your own business.
Yeah, go back and watch CNN.
Yeah. And dude, it's just so ridiculous.
Shout out to everyone who made fake vaccine cards, distributed them. Shout out to all the nurses who squeezed out those serums into the trash. Shout out to everyone who went against that, who spoke out, that kept their restaurants open, that kept their businesses open. I'm like, it was so funny though, because COVID would spread if you were at church, but not at a BLM rally. It was weird how COVID knew its own politics at the time.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it was just a test to see how brainwashed and stupid people are, how much you could strip away people's freedom and manipulate them by fear. And guess what? Their tests worked perfectly. Look what they were allowed to get away with. And guess what? Who's in jail? No one.
No.
It's just, you know what? It's just another thing to forget about.
It is. Hopefully not. What I fear, being a little, what was I going to say? Hold on a second. I just forgot what I was going to say. Being a little bit of a conspiracy theorist on this, I feel that something much worse is going to happen.
Yeah, well, so Rand Paul has a book, and I have been listening to it and reading it, and basically he was saying what they did with COVID, like obviously they used our money, they did gain of function research, they created in a lab, and it killed like what, 0.001% of the population. He basically said, and they're already doing it with the bird flu right now, and a bunch of weird things are coming out. He said that they're literally like in the lab basically creating something that this time will take out like 40% of the population, but they're just making sure it's totally perfected. And then, they'll sell the vaccine that you have to take to not die from this. They'll all become billionaires. And he just said, yeah, they're just gonna keep doing this shit. And like, what are we gonna do to stop them?
Yeah, it's dangerous.
They already did it once. Same with, I'm like, well, they already manipulated and I believe stole an election once, and not one person's in jail. So why would we think this election's going to go any different?
Well, I mean, if we go back to when this country was being settled, what did we do?
I mean,
we put a bunch of smallpox, infected blankets into a train and shipped it out and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Why is this COVID stuff no different? It's,
it's like, it's so frustrating because I'm like, how do you guys not see what's happening? Like, how do you not see all these people benefited from trading all these stocks and selling all these vaccines? Like, it's even like vaccines in general. It's like, do you not think it's weird that the only person who doesn't have liability is the person who injects your body with a random serum? You have no idea what's in it, and they have no responsibility. If you are a chef and someone's sick, you have responsibility. If you build a home, if you're a contractor, if you're a teacher, every job there's every job in the world there's liability except for the most dangerous one. I mean, like, that doesn't send a red flag to you? I mean, people talk so much about...
Well, it does, but they paid off everybody in DC to make it not be an issue. I'm
so anti-vax. It's crazy. I was like, I knew nothing before the pandemic. Now I'm like hardcore tinfoil hat. Like, I will never have a vaccine. No one I love will have a vaccine. My children will have no vaccines. My dogs will never have a fucking vaccine. I'm like, no. I know what they're doing. And it's real simple to understand.
Yep.
And it's not happening. No accountability. I'm out.
Which is how we met, as our doctor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
It was an amazing woman.
So awesome. I was so scared because, like, obviously I've gone to like shitty doctors my whole life and just been like gaslit, and they've like literally just tried to give me like antidepressants. I'm pretty sure to like make me in birth control and make me like infertile or kill myself. I don't know what their goal was, but just the gaslighting of doctors. And then I go in there and actually get to like be myself for once, and I'm like, holy shit, a doctor that actually agrees with me on everything and also like wants to cure me without prescribing me a bunch of pills. And I was like, well, isn't that shocking? There's so few of these left.
She's amazing. She helped me so much. I have like so much gut issues, which we're still working on.
Me too.
I'm working on this forever.
Yep.
But she's helped me a lot, like really just changed my life.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she's amazing.
Imagine if all doctors were like her and everyone wasn't sick and clinically insane.
Try to actually not treat something, but prevent it. Actually do preventative medicine.
Yep. And that's my number one thing is gut issues.
Yep.
It's like crazy.
It is.
Everything makes us sick.
Yep.
And it's exhausting, and trying to avoid all that is just impossible.
Can't eat that, can't do this, got to do that. It's like,
and our environment, everything we're touching, everything we're breathing, we're not around enough nature, the food, water, like literally everything. It's so insane. But everyone has gut issues, and it's crazy because it like literally gives you like all the food and poison, everything makes your brain have inflammation.
Totally.
And then everyone wonders why they have like 40 mental illnesses.
Yep.
And you're like, no, you're not born with mental illness. You're okay.
Exactly.
Stop poisoning yourself every day.
Yeah, the brain is highly affected by the chemicals and the garbage that are in our food here in the US. Like, when I go to Europe, it's just like finally I can eat something and not feel like trash.
It's so sad because everyone says that.
And then have to, like, I literally inspect every like package of meat. I inspect everything here because I'm like, what shit are they trying to hide in here And for guys, it's a genius move for whoever's behind some of this stuff.
Kills all your
Should
testosterone.
lower the testosterone.
Yep.
But lucky for me and some other guys, I have a genius gentleman that I work with out of Australia who knows how to boost all that stuff naturally and knows what things to avoid to keep that from happening.
Yeah.
So the guys can still be guys. So yeah, it's terrifying what the hell is happening to food sources here, or what has happened. And yeah, I'm always so leery about everything I eat. I'm just like, where's this coming from? Like,
dude, even picking up ketchup, there's 90 ingredients that are like poisonous. And then also it's like, well, then it's in plastic. You buy good quality meat. Half the time I don't even trust the meat because they have lawsuits. They like lie about it. Oh, but then the meat's wrapped in plastic too. And then you're like, oh my God, it's never ending. But like, to be fair, like there's so many steps you can take. And I think the more aware you are, you just become aware. And like all those small, I do think all the small things add up.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
Totally.
And it sucks because it is expensive.
It is. And it shouldn't be that way.
No.
Everybody should have access to good, healthy, non-poisonous food. Unfortunately, that shit is shoved down the most vulnerable people's throats, literally.
Yeah.
Through really targeted advertising. Yeah, it's just nuts. And I'm fearful of what's happening in Western Europe right now as well, because, you know, these ag companies and pharmaceutical companies, these chemical companies, they've been pushing really hard and lobbying in Europe to try to change the food there.
Standards,
well,
too.
it's ridiculous.
And I think it's crazy. Like, we need to work more and support the farmers of America, because I was reading something how like the 3 biggest like landowners in America are not even Americans. It's like China, I think Germany. And I'm like, why? America's farmland should be owned by Americans. They should have some of the smallest portions. And of course, what do they want to do? They just want to pump out everything. And then obviously all the liberals, they're like, oh, let's be vegan and everyone eats fake meat. And the cows are actually bad for the environment now. And I mean, they're like sick psychopaths too. They like literally want us eating bugs. And I'm just like, yeah, we need to start protecting American farmers, and especially independent ones that practice regenerative farming. And so I think that is like, if anything, my next move, because that's something that actually matters and affects everyone.
Yeah, I have seen it firsthand. So I grew up on a little farm, and our neighbor has a huge farm. He has like 2,000 acres. And the federal government came in and made him do like all of this shit that actually it makes no sense.
I know.
And
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The proper way is the cheapest way, the best way, the safest way, the healthiest way. And then they come in and do all this, and it's insane. There needs to be so much more attention to that, because I swear if we were actually like not being poisoned constantly, we would take the country back, because everyone would be thinking more clearly. But we need to protect them. I think that's the most important thing right now, and making sure, you know, we have good quality meat and eggs and all these things, and actually promoting people to go do those jobs instead of like now these big corporations coming in and just torturing these people. Yeah,
well, I mean, guys that I work with, they're like, yeah, my testosterone's good. It's 400 or 500. And I'm like, that's horrible.
Oh, really? What is it supposed to be?
It should be upwards of like 700, 800, 900 and up.
Oh, okay.
And it's really bad. But like doctors will tell them, oh, your testosterone's good.
Of course, because they want low testosterone.
Exactly. And then as far as cholesterol as well, right? Good cholesterol prior to Big Pharma getting involved in DC was 300, which is good. They dropped it to 200.
Isn't cholesterol like kind of good for you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I was talking about this with my boyfriend, and I was saying, because we were taking like electrolytes, there's tons of salt in them and like sodium and cholesterol and all those things. So I was like, no, I think that's good. Yeah. I think we're supposed to even put like salt in our water and all this. Our body needs to absorb like salt and minerals.
Electrolytes in here.
Yeah, exactly. I told him, I was like, don't panic. We'll figure out the research. But I was like, I know that it's actually not bad. That's like some stuff they scare you into eating, like sugar for breakfast.
Yeah, so like 300 is a good cholesterol level, but they creeped it down to 200 so they can sell more drugs to people. To bring it down. Yeah, to bring it down. Yeah. Which is total bullshit. Oh, I'm shocked. Yeah. I'm shocked that they're lying to us about everything. And I've struggled and dealt with this food sensitivity, gut issues, health issues my entire life. My whole life too. Because when I was born, like they were pumping antibiotics in everybody. Well, it destroyed a lot of the gut biome. And so I'm slowly been rebuilding that over the past couple of years, working with our doctor and then some other specialists that I've worked with.
That makes sense because I've had gut issues and complained about stomach aches and being sick my entire life since I was little. I would miss school, I'd complain, I'd cry every morning. And then the older I got, it just got worse and worse and worse to the point where I'm not functioning and being bloated and all these things.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I wonder if I'm sure they, took me out of the womb and like jabbed me with a bunch of shit, So I'm like, makes sense. They probably just like ruined me from the start. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, things have gotten a lot worse as far as food quality goes. I do remember, like, I always had good food. My mom always made everything fresh. We had our own little garden. We had a butcher in our town. We had farms that we could go get milk from.
Yeah.
Right. So I grew up with like healthy stuff, but I think I was just kind of like a sick kid a little bit.
Yeah.
And so the medication, the antibiotics that I would take was destroying the gut. And I kind of grew up with allergies and food allergies, allergies in general, food allergies.
Yeah.
And working with our doctor, like finally,
Thank God we have her because she's the only one I know of in all of LA. Freaking, I don't know anyone else in California. And before her, I don't know, I was going to like USC, a doctor for something. And I figured like, let's just fuck around with him a little bit. I got some time because I think these people are so evil and corrupt. And I don't believe they're dumb. And I do think they have this weird God complex where they're like, I read a book and I'm a doctor, so I'm better, no more than you. You're dumb. You're like my dumb patient. So he was, this was like, by the way, not that long ago, like less than a year. And he was like, I was in there for like, God knows what, something so random and normal. And he was just like, have you got your COVID vaccine? And I was like, buddy.
Are you kidding?
And I was like, and I literally was like, be so fucking real. There's no one in the room with us right now. You want me as a healthy 30-year-old woman to get a fucking COVID vaccine that you now know does not work on top of a flu vaccine, which I would never fucking get. And I was like, be so fucking real. Like, you just legally have to tell me to get this right. And then I asked him, I was like, hey, question. A study came out like literally the day before. I was like saying that there's basically 0% autism in the Amish community. And I was like, and they don't do vaccines. And I go, why do you think that is? Use your fucking brain as a doctor. That's so smart. And he was such an asshole and would refuse to answer it. And I was like, it's the vaccines, right? And he just, he would not answer. And it was at the point where I was like, why would I let you treat me when I know that you literally want to harm me and you refuse to even look at a study and understand and put the most simple concept together? And I was like, fuck it. I just left. I was like, I don't even know what I was there for.
Yeah. And plus the Amish eat cleaner food.
Yeah.
Right.
Farms.
Yeah.
Dairy.
Yeah.
All the things you say to avoid.
Yeah. They're not eating tons of processed crap. So the autism is not there. And inflammation is a lot of the reason in the brain that's like, apparently.
And sugar.
Yeah. Causing the autism issues.
It's so funny. He just wouldn't answer it.
Yeah. I believe it. But yeah, that God complex, I know some people that are like that. I'm just like,
every doctor I've ever met, even nurses, have like this weird God complex. And I'm like, oh, congrats. You went and you memorized a book. You didn't learn. You memorized a book that was probably written by the fucking Rothschild family that is like literally, and now you think you're fucking better than me? I can go read that same book. The difference is like I have independent fucking thinking skills. And I you know what I mean? It's so weird. I hate being around them.
Yeah.
It's very creepy.
Yeah, there's a lot of functional doctors, alternative medicine folks that are really taking like kind of the world by storm right now, which is awesome because we need to get the big pharma, big ag, we need to get that crap out of DC. We need to educate people so that, they're not being harmed by this. And it's so insidious and it's so slow.
It's so slow.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're like, oh my God, all of a sudden this thing's happening. Well, like you've been being poisoned for 10 years now.
That's the thing. People are like, oh my God, I'm sick today. And I'm like, you've been poisoned since the day you were born. Yeah. And I'm like, it's not what happened to you yesterday. You've been poisoned your whole fucking life. You know what I mean? And it's like, so now you're gonna, like, the odds of being able to reverse all that is really impossible. It's just what can you do today for the rest of your life to try to repair all that damage. But just know they did it to you because they made money. Yep. They don't care about you and they did it on purpose. None of this bullshit like, oh, we didn't know that giving you guys meth was bad for you. I mean, how many, dude, even Netflix is making mainstream documentaries about all the pharmaceutical companies and people are still they still don't believe it.
Yeah, there's some good documentaries that have been made about how messed up these pharmaceutical companies are and what they do. And yeah, people still like, oh, I need the Z pack. I need like all this stuff.
Oh, and the new trendy thing is like everyone has autism. They have it's like now trendy to have it's crazy. They made it so it's trendy to have a fucking mental illness online.
So that's very true. And I can tell you firsthand that some of the guys that come in here work with me, they're from the tech industry. They're hardcore gamers. And it's apparent, I've been told by some of them, like apparently in that community, it is cool to be more diagnosed with autism because being smart or perceived as being smart is like the coolest. And so
you're like, but being autistic is actually really not that cool in real life.
Yeah.
Like,
and so, they started telling me this, like kind of as they kept working with me. I befriended them like more, they were just started clients. And so talking about their passions, and they're like, oh yeah, in our community, it's really cool to be on the spectrum. And I was like, hold on a second, because they came in and they're like, hey, we have some social issues. We're on the spectrum. And I'm like talking to them. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, who diagnosed this shit? I said, you have some social cue issues because you haven't studied this.
Yeah. You might just be awkward.
You're just really smart fucking dudes.
Yeah.
And they're super smart.
Also, you're really smart. Most people are really dumb. So you literally can't connect with them, not because you have autism or you're different or unique. It's because they're literally so stupid you can't connect.
Yeah. I mean, and what is the broadcasting age range for TV? Was it like 5th grade level or something like that?
Oh my God.
6th grade level? I don't know. It's probably decreased.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and these guys that I call them kids, I call them my kids.
Yeah.
But they come in here and they're like, no, I haven't. I'm like, no, you don't. Like,
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, let's like make this like shameful again.
As I kind of like show them that's not really the case, they're like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, I can just be a smart guy. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually really attractive to be a smart guy, and you should be proud of it. It's actually really not attractive as a female to be like, to meet a guy who's smart and he's like, I have autism and 47 things wrong with me. Okay, well, I don't want my children to be autistic. Yeah. I want them to be smart, but that's really weird to promote. And especially for women, I see like, oh, dude, I don't even know. There's like terminologies now that are so insane. They're like, I have 19 mental disorders. It's so funny. That's like the meme. It's like I'm overweight and have 19 mental disorders. Let me tell you how the country should run. That's literally everyone online now. And I'm like, no, I don't want your opinion if you have any of those things, frankly, wrong with you. That's not good. And you should go get that worked on. It's also not an excuse to act the way you act. Like if you're that self-aware, then you need to like have some like accountability and responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of that goes on too. It's like, oh, I'm this, so you have to treat me this way because I don't want to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't have to.
But it is literally the left is the party of zero accountability. Me and my boyfriend were literally talking about this the other night, and we were like, every single thing that they believe in comes down to no accountability.
Yeah, and victimhood.
So it's like, I'm single because of men. I don't have children because of men. I'm not successful because of men. Oh, I feel this way because women made me feel this way. Oh my God, the government made me feel this way. Oh, my pills made me feel this way. Fucking nothing comes back to them. Yeah. It's just zero accountability across the board. Yeah. Everything is someone else's fault.
Someone else's fault. There's a victim mentality running behind the scenes. And they just don't want to take responsibility for anything. And
it's so exhausting.
How are you ever going to live an amazing life if you do not take responsibility for yourself?
You won't.
All the dumb shit that you've done or chosen to do or take part in.
Yeah, you won't, and then you'll blame everyone. Yeah. These people are so nuts. I was arguing with one, and I was saying something about Hunter Biden, who was like, no bias aside, a piece of shit human being. Traffics women. Let's not even get into it. And I was like, oh yeah, like no, and the film's all of it. It's not even like these are hearsay things.
So weird.
I'm like, literally there's texts of him like, yeah, I don't want the yellow one, but give me the N-word, or I don't want the N-word, putting a gun, fucking hooker from behind. Like God knows what is he doing when he's not filming? And this guy, of course, it was like a flaming trans liberal, whatever I was debating. I don't fucking know anymore, because you can't just be gay. That's boring now. You have to be like 90 different other things. And he was just like, he did a 5-minute speech and was like, how dare you go after his mental health? And I was like, I'm convinced you guys aren't real. I'm convinced you're not a real person in front of me right now. Oh my God, you want me to have empathy for Hunter Biden's mental health? Okay, so yeah, go pistol whip hookers and do crack and funnel money into Ukraine while thousands of innocent people die on behalf of a war that you guys fucking started and dragged them into. In case you forgot, these are wars. Yeah, they're proxy, but real fucking people are dying because his. Imagine being so mentally insane you defend Hunter Biden's mental health. He was like, I struggle with addiction. And I go, you guys are so weak. I want to draft you into war, into the front row. You are the weakest soy human beings. Like, imagine defending that. You have to be clinically insane. I was dying laughing. He was like, you're laughing at mental illness. And I go, yeah, I actually am. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, but you weren't actually, because
I'm talking about his actions as a grown-ass fucking man in his, what, like 40s?
yeah.
And he's like somehow relating it to like his mom being an addict and dying or something. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are nuts.
I mean, sure, there's mental illness, but
Did your mom smoke crack with Hunter Biden and blow him? Because these two aren't adding up to me. Sorry.
that and you know, who records that kind of stuff as a politician's son, and like, you know, the whole gun thing, I saw that too. I'm like,
Insane.
this is nuts.
But like, you're literally like having sex with a chick from behind with like a gun to her head, and you're trafficking women.
Yep.
I mean, it's like the thing is like from smoking crack, like the conversations, abandoning your child. Let's not forget, doing coke in the White House. I mean, the fact that you're a criminal allowed in the White House is crazy.
Yeah,
Skipping out on rent.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You and me would be like in jail if we didn't pay our rent. But it's just like, imagine being so insane you have to defend Hunter Biden because he has an addiction problem. By the way, he has an addiction problem because he wants to, not because he had a rough childhood. And I was like, when he's too busy, you know, he's not. Didn't he like have sex with his dead brother's wife?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he like that's like 100. Yeah,
I don't know that.
I think that was like the huge thing too.
Really?
His brother died and then he was banging his wife, which doesn't shock me at all. But I'm like, it like liberals are so far gone. They will defend him and he is a victim. But by the way, I'm like, okay, if someone in the Trump family had an addiction problem, mental illness, I'm sure you would address it the same way, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, you were the same person that was just praying he got assassinated. The love and empathy is so funny. It only applies to their side.
Yep.
If Don Jr. did that,
Oh my God.
oh, he'd be in prison
Yep.
and he would be like, literally, they would like go after his whole family. So, and also they like talk shit. They were like, the liberals were making fun of like, Trump's like granddaughter who's 14 and did a speech and were going after her online and attacking her looks. And I'm like, she's like 14, you like actual psychopaths, or 17, whatever she is. She was like super young, but I just was like, I can't.
Is she the one that plays golf? Is she the one
Yeah.
that golfs?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw a little bit about that.
She did a speech and the comments from women were like so disgusting. I was like, I cannot with you guys. And then I make a video about Ben Affleck's idiot fucking daughter at a city council meeting or some shit going on about how everyone should be masked and everyone's like, you're sick for attacking a child. That bitch is 18 years old.
She's not a child. She's an adult.
She's an adult and she's fair game. Ask me if I give a fuck about celebrities' children. All my empathy goes out the door. She's literally saying she wants to take your rights away. Also, I was like, she's 18. I thought she was 45. She looks like she's part of the Amish community. Why is she weird? And then I made a joke and I was like, why don't you use your parents' privilege to go be cool? God, dude, be normal. Go do an OnlyFans. I was like, take some Molly and go to a nightclub and go to Ibiza and fucking take a break from this shit. And literally everyone was like, oh, so now you want her to do drugs? I go, yeah, I do. She'd probably be a lot cooler. She would. She'd probably be more normal and not a fucking 18-year-old freak saying we should mask people with an N95 on. The celebrities, their children are all, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that
There's
are
a lot to unpack there.
really messed up.
But now you know why Ben Affleck's always like, I'm like, oh, that's his daughter? Oh, no wonder he's stressed out all the time.
Yeah. I had a woman on here recently, and she's a professional actress here in LA. And we were talking, and she hinted at some of the grooming and some of the weird shit that goes on
Yeah, sure.
in LA. Well, she started acting professionally at 13. So she was a child actress.
Yeah.
And she has friends that have been groomed, that have been sexually abused, attacked, all this, the stuff that nobody wants to admit that goes on in this lunatic town. she was like, yeah, I've had friends that went through it. They are damaged as adults now.
Yeah, and I've met, Lord knows, a lot of actors, and everyone I've met has been borderline clinically insane. And they've usually told me on the first time we hang out or date or whatever that they were molested. And that's usually how the conversation starts. And I would like to point out that Hollywood is one of the most far left-leaning, groups, environments on the planet. And they're all pretty much molesting children the entire time. So
Yeah,
maybe there's some weird connection there. I don't know.
yeah, like I had heard about it and I was like, I don't know if it's true or not. But when she was in here and we were talking, doing the podcast, she's like, yeah, it's true.
And the Nickelodeon documentary kind of just proved all that. And also I was like,
Seen that.
oh yeah, that was like, they were just like molesting all the kids. And the guy was like a huge pedophile. But I was like, did no one step back and think it's really weird that these people love working with children so much and hanging out around children? If you were a pedophile, your dream job would literally to be on a children's show. Like, I'm sorry, these parents didn't think it's weird. If a 40-year-old, 30-year-old man was calling me when I was 12 years old to hang out with me, my dad would be like, what do you have in common with a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
My dad would be like, I'm going to murder you if you step foot in this house, because that's what a normal parent does. But let's be real. I think these are like also probably liberal, left-leaning parents that are so open to their ideologies, they kind of forgot common sense. These people are weird. This is a weird industry. And when you are that open-minded, I think it can actually be very harmful.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, to a degree, I think so.
Yeah, like it's weird. Anyone that's normal and was slightly conservative leaning would be like, a 12-year-old has nothing in common with a 30-year-old. It is weird that they would even be hanging out. And people working in this industry are probably a little weird too.
Yeah, there are a lot of weirdos in it. I mean, I was just thinking to myself, like if I had a kid, like, and they wanted to do that career or something, I would either tell them no, or if they were really adamant or had some talent, I'd be like, okay, well, I will be
supervised 24/7.
Supervised by me on set at all times.
That's the only way it would ever fly. Exactly. And even then, all those kids come out fucked up.
Yeah.
Look at like 90% of child actors. They're coming out and they're like drug addicts, they've overdosed, they were molested. I'm like, it is funny though, because these are all the same people that go on social media and the news and gaslight you into thinking you're a piece of shit for being, God forbid, a proud American and not wanting to, mutilate 9-year-olds' private parts. But they're the first ones to gaslight us about being bad people.
Yep.
So I'm just like, maybe we should all start looking at things a little bit closer. And also, these are also all the celebrities that were on Epstein's Island that gaslight Americans every day. These are also all the same people that were best friends with Harvey Weinstein before they all start calling us out. And then we call them groomers and they like freak out. And I'm like, well, you guys you're groomers. Sorry.
That's what they're doing. Yeah, like.
Oh, Trump's a rapist. Okay. Who? You guys rape tons of people and are involved with all these people that rape people. And somehow, yes, the guy who's never been, obviously factually accused of it and never had consequences for it, because he hasn't, because he didn't have to rape women, because he was rich and successful and has had beautiful wives and girlfriends. And also like paying to sleep with a woman, even then, is also still not rape. That's a business transaction. But yeah, all these people are gaslighting him every day. And I'm like, but you guys actually like are weird, creepy rapists.
Yeah, I mean, that Epstein stuff is so bizarre.
Yeah, well, God forbid you were standing outside the Capitol on January 6th with your face fully covered. FBI found you, but somehow all the people who were on flight logs to Epstein's Island, we somehow can't find. And I have this crazy idea that they're all Democrats, because for a fact if it was a Republican on those Epstein logs, that shit would have been out. Everywhere. So I'm like, interesting how that works.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm just a conspiracy theorist.
And some pretty high profile people on that list, apparently.
Yeah, because I seriously believe in all the stuff Alex Jones has been talking about forever. I like totally believe in. I like the globalist satanic rituals, child, sacrifices. I mean, MK Ultra is alive and well. I mean, literally, I believe in like all those things. I think all these people at the top run like the biggest pedophile rings in the world, and they're all in it together and they're all involved. And anyone that tries to expose them just happens to end up dead, weirdly enough.
And it's very weird that the trafficking and the pedophile behavior, like the maximum is here in America, nowhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's elsewhere.
Especially at our, and it's like, why do you think Democrats fight so hard to keep our borders open when you even have Dr. Phil, who is not a right-wing person, at the border being like, hey, there's child trafficking going on here at a rate that is like insane, and children are literally coming over the border with addresses written on their arms, and they're never seen again. But of course, the party of protecting children, all they care about is protecting trans children. And I go, so what about all the children that are being raped and trafficked at the border every day? Weirdly silent on that. Why do you guys want to keep borders open so bad? And how come when a guy comes out with a movie about child trafficking, why are all which by the way, my boyfriend thought I was crazy. We go to see that movie. What do you know? They're having issues at the theater. Why do they not want us to see this? And then of course, what do? They start putting out stuff that, actually he's a pedophile, because that's what you do. You slander people and you say they're accused of the thing they're trying to fight, which I do not believe that at all, of course. But I'm like, why are the theaters having issues and we can't see this movie about child trafficking? Yeah. Sound of Freedom. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. So interesting.
And never in my life had I ever heard of theaters having all of these issues and nobody could see the movie.
And there's TikToks going viral all over the country of everything happening. And of course, it happens to me and my boyfriend when we were going to see the movie. And I'm like, it's weird, right? ACs are out, screens are working, lights won't turn off. I mean, come on. It's all so obvious. Like, I believe they're all in on it. I wouldn't trust a Democrat to do my taxes.
Yeah, it is a strange world out there.
And also, like, what about Ashley Biden's diary, where she confirmed that her dad takes showers with her when she's well into her late teenage years, and she confirms the diary was accurate, not on the news, and the woman who showed like transcripts of the diary, she went to prison. But Ashley Biden confirmed it. Why are you guys supporting someone who showers with their 13 to 16-year-old daughter? Oh, I'm sorry, that's not being a fucking pedophile, but Trump's a pedophile?
I haven't heard this.
Yeah, well, that was like, by the way, in the right-wing community, that is mainstream news. You will never see that on the left-wing media.
Wow.
Yeah, her dad's a creep weirdo. That's why he's always like touching and sniffing children. They look terrified around him.
Yeah, that is such a weird thing.
Yeah, he's weird. He's a weirdo. If Trump did that, he'd be in jail tomorrow. But of course, if it's right-wing media, it's all fake. Even though she said it herself, it's true.
So she confirmed it.
Yeah. And then the chick who exposed it went to jail. And James O'Keefe tried to expose it as well and talk about it. And that guy was like, no, this is fake. We don't want this.
Why did she go to jail after she confirmed it?
Because she's spreading truth. You cannot spread truth in America as long as Democrats are in charge.
This is true. I mean, there's a lot of shit spreading going on in America.
And also it's weird too, because like there's so many stories, like when you're deep into like all these, like I go in like Telegram chat rooms, and it's like literally anyone who tries to expose child trafficking, literally they end up found dead. It'll be like a couple in Minnesota that like is like trying to like do something, like oh they just like someone walked in and just shot him in the face, and you're like, oh, that's so weird how that happens.
Yeah, that is weird.
But hey, what do I know?
Yeah. Is
a lot to take in. This is my brain 24/7. This is why my boyfriend is like, Jesus Christ, I need a vacation. I'll literally be at like 2:30 a.m. be like, babe, you got to see this clip I just found on his Telegram channel. And I'm like, the guy's face is like blacked out and the voice changed. I'm like, dude, they're trafficking children. And I'm like, listen to what he's talking about. And I'm like, this person's involved. He's like, what the fuck? But it is weird. Like, what is it? There's a meme. It's like Kyle Rittenhouse shot into a crowd of Democrats and somehow killed 3 pedophiles. You know what I mean? And I was like, isn't it kind of like interesting that they do all seem to be left-leaning? The same with like, I said on a podcast, and I was like, mark my words, because it's true, like LGBTQAI, the next thing will be MAPS, which is minor attracted persons, because they're integrating pedophiles. They want them in society and they want them to be completely normalized. Why would you want that?
That's insane.
Why?
I've heard that and I'm like, that's nuts. Like, that is not cool.
Yeah. And you see, they did a program where they took pedophiles to rehabilitate them. They put them in homes with children.
Are you serious? Was this like a government funded thing?
Yeah.
Holy shit, where did this happen?
This is great. I have screenshots. I'll send it to you. There's articles on this. It was actually even posted on a left-leaning outlet because they were bummed that it like didn't work out. You literally took children who needed homes and put them with convicted pedophiles to see if they would change. And shocking, they didn't. And also, it's like, my thing is with all the transgender stuff and children and surgeries and all that, it's very simple. I believe children should have a very limited amount of choices. I've been a nanny. They don't even know what the fuck they want for lunch. They don't know their gender. They don't know any of that shit unless you confuse them and you throw them off. But it's like one of those things I'm like, okay, it's very simple as an adult. Children are different. They're children. If you want to convince me that a child can choose its gender and to cut off its private parts, you're convincing me it's an adult. The only reason I think you want to see that child is an adult is literally so you can do adult things with it and you can justify your actions. I see no other way around that. That is how I see it, and I'm going to continue to see it that way.
That's interesting.
It's if you are giving a 9-year-old girl the option to do all these things and surgeries and all these things, you're treating her as an adult, are you not? That's a very adult thing to do. I couldn't get a nose job at 16 years old, you know what I mean? But it's like, why are you treating her like an adult when she's clearly a child? Okay, so why don't you let her go get a 6-pack and a tattoo then? Clearly you want to interact with this child as an adult because I don't see any other way around it.
Yeah, that stuff is scary. There was a show that I was watching with a Navy SEAL, and he had a really messed up childhood. He transitioned from, while he was in the SEALs as an operational SEAL, he changed from a man to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He had so much emotional shit going on. He realized like, whoa, this is a mess.
Yeah.
Transitions back to a guy. I don't think he did any modification
Yeah.
to his body.
Hope not.
But he is a huge proponent about speaking out against this because of the damage that it does for somebody that isn't 100% on board with.
No, he didn't need to transition. He needed mental help.
Yep.
And also, I was talking about at the party, I swear every girl goes through a phase where they think they're like lesbian for a couple weeks, months, years, or whatever. And then they go right back to being straight. Most of the time you do it because you want attention from guys because I think it's hot when girls make out. But it's like, okay, we're not going to mutilate children. And when I debate people who are pro mutilating children, because that's what it is, they love to say, you don't know how much it saves lives. You don't know. And I go, you know what statistic you conveniently leave out? The suicide rate after transitioning. Yeah, you conveniently leave out that only thing that matters is all the people who kill themselves after, but then their heads explode.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what he was getting at because he was going down that road. He just wanted to kill himself.
Yeah.
I believe that's what he was saying. But there was a lot of stuff that he was like, no. He's like, I am 100% against this. He's like, I did like all the things. I went to therapy and like I still did it.
Yeah.
He's like, I wish I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because it fucked me up really bad. And then now he's on this crusade to be like, hey, like you really have to think about it.
Which is funny because that community won't give a fuck what he says.
Of course.
They'll shame him every chance given, but then they'll be like, how dare you? It's my personal story. Well, what about his personal story? Yep. Like I said, anything that does not go along with their agenda, even if you're on their side, they do not care and they will shame you and they will cut you off from society for any given reason. And it's very weird. I think we can all agree. You want to go mutilate yourself? I think the cutoff age should be, I think the age, you should never do that against, I think any doctor that does that, I think you should be in fucking prison. But you know what? 18 years old. Go ahead. You're an adult. Go cut yourself apart.
You can vote.
Yeah.
That's when the U.S. government sees you as an adult
yeah.
to join the military.
Then go for it.
Right? At 18, rock and roll. Do whatever you want to do.
But if you believe anything before 18 years old, I think you're demonic. I think you're sick. I think you're an evil person. And I think you're probably a pedophile. So prove me wrong. And all those doctors should be in prison for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big thing to do.
You got to be sick to do that.
Yeah.
I already am against a lot of that.
I have worked with a woman who transitioned into a man. And back to our point when we started earlier in the podcast about women not knowing what masculinity is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she came here, to understand masculinity, to learn how to be, because he decided that this is the path for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I commend them for coming and learning the traits.
Yeah.
Like what's important for what you want to be, but as an adult.
Yeah, not like, you don't have like a 15-year-old in here.
That would never happen, ever.
They want people to transition at like 5 years old.
It's crazy.
Where your body parts aren't even developed.
It's crazy.
It's also, I'm really confused too, because I used to be best friends with someone who was a girl, now a guy. of course. I'm sure they think I'm like a racist Trump supporter, but I'm confused. Then they have a fucking gender reveal party, and I don't know, they're doing some weird IVF shit or something, and they're like, oh, congrats, we're having a girl and a boy. I'm like, I thought you don't believe in gender. Oh, okay. And then also like,
yeah, there's like that weird stuff.
so gender doesn't exist unless it's your fucking gender reveal party. Like, I'm sorry, you're so full of shit. I mean, this person's made a career off of being transgender online, so I don't trust a word they say. They also had a beautiful, stunning daughter that was so girly, looked like a princess. And now she's a fucking like 11-year-old, like they, them, chopped her hair off, dyed it black, super weird. And I'm like, I'm sorry, this is literally, when we talk about society, this is an influence from who you're around.
Yeah.
If she was not your daughter, if she was my father's daughter, this would be a beautiful feminine little girl who probably has a bright future. I think this is fucking child abuse, and I think you're a fucking weirdo for doing this to your daughter.
Yeah, that is strange. When
She talks about her in videos and she's like, they, and I'm like, what do you mean they? They's fucking plural. She's, what do you, oh, they's playing. Who? Her and her fucking imaginary friend? Like, I'm sorry, like that, it's crazy. It's crazy. Me and my friends send each other her videos because I'm just like, I can't believe you've turned into this. But it's like, also like, ironically, you've done all this on social media and made tons of money off of it.
Yeah.
Would you do this in private with no money and followers? Because I'm pretty sure she makes a living off of doing it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I doubt it. It's sick. The fact that they're bringing children into this world makes me fucking nauseous. I'm sorry. Look what you already did to one child. This thing's a freak now. It is. It's a fucking weirdo. Sorry. You made this beautiful little girl into a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Sue me.
Without proper therapy and
you know why? No father. Because she's a dude now. So technically, whatever the fuck they are. You know, her and her wife, who's like famous for being naked on the internet.
Your old friends, right?
Yeah, this is someone I used to be best friends with. And it's just like, it's so weird to see. And now they're bringing in a boy and girl. I'm like, oh, good. You guys can have a lovely little trans family. How beautiful. Sorry, weird. Don't care. Fucking weird. Shouldn't be accepted in society. Shouldn't be promoted. It's mental illness. They're all fucking weird. The children are going to come out. They're going to have a trans dad, a like prostitute mom who's like on like a TV show or something. And they're going to be like fucking weirdos. And if you would have put those children in a literally normal home, they would come out normal. It's 100% your environment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, kids are highly affected by their environment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So all I can pray is that the kid grows up and realizes the mom probably did all this for social media and is a freaking grifter weirdo and probably just goes and turns back into a normal girl. Stop saying they, them.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I pray for those kids.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just my opinion. It's my personal truth. That's what you guys say, so you can't attack me.
It can be your opinion, right?
Yeah, it's my opinion. It just happens to be the correct one, but it just happens to be mine.
We live in America. We can have these opinions.
Yeah, if you don't like it, you can send me an email and I can ignore it, like the other 9 million emails I get a day.
So people actually emailing you to complain.
Oh my God. The people that do my merch called me the other day and they were like, hey, do you want to go through any of your like inquiries or whatever? And they were like, by the way, they're insane. And I was like, really? What are they? They go, so half the people want to aggressively have insane sex with you and the other half want to literally kill you. He was like, there's like nothing about sizing here. And I was like, oh, okay, slay. And he was like, is this what your inbox is full of? And I'm like, oh, babe, you have no idea. My TikTok is like 7 million death threats. Losers. Don't care. That's how I feel about you guys.
Yeah, I mean, they have nothing else better.
Yeah, keep commenting. Sending me straight to the algorithm and I make money on my views. So keep going. It only helps me. I don't read them, by the way. That's the funny thing is people will send me like messages this long and I literally go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the following that you have, that's for sure. But, you know, some of the things that I post about men, guys, like they're freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
people will send me like emails.
I haven't achieved that level yet.
Yeah, I mean, they get through any way they can. The email is like the last resort. Some people even get my number and text me and I'm just like, block. It's so funny. It takes 1 second to block. Yeah. It does. I mean, it doesn't even inconvenience me. Yeah. Really. I'm on my phone anyways. But yeah, no, go off. Whatever makes you happy.
Well, we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
Definitely.
well, vote for Trump.
thanks a million for coming on. I appreciate it. And I love these nails.
Thank
Those
you.
nails are awesome.
Trump 2024, save America.
Very patriotic for sure.
Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, where can people follow you?
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, literally EmilySavesAmerica.com, but like Instagram at Emily Saves America, TikTok, Emily Saves America, X, Emily Saves USA, YouTube, Emily Saves America. It's very easy.
Cool. I'll put all that in the description. Thanks a million.
Well,
This has been a very interesting
as long as everyone's entertained, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. You did a great job.
Thank you.